Are you ready?
Joint on the corner where the big boys play.
How's everyone doing this week? Welcome to Live Stream Reviews. My name is Christian Karasiewicz, and I'm the content marketing manager over at Streamyard. And I'm excited about this week's show. It's good to be back. I know Leticia and I, we said we were going to change our schedule up. And so, our new schedule is basically the first and the third Saturdays of every month. We're going to be doing live stream reviews at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's where we bring you on. We like to learn about your live streams. We like to ask you some questions, help you with your problems, maybe we shouldn't say problems, help you with your challenges for your live stream. So I'm going to go and bring on Leticia, and we're going to kick things off. By the way, we're really excited to talk about a new feature as well, or a couple of new features that we've rolled out at Streamyard. So Leticia, good to be back.
Hey, I'm happy to be back too. I missed you guys.
And this is a lot of fun, right? So
yes, it is. Yes.
I love getting to know everyone, kind of seeing, how we can help them, learning about their streams. Again, taking a look at like what people are doing, because I also like to see like, are there any really cool creative things people are doing with their live streams? So
yes,
I know we always like to start every show off with a couple of questions, and I'd say this: the first question is, where are you tuning in from?
Yes.
Do us a favor, put that in the comments. And as our good friend NLTMW always likes to say, hit that like button and subscribe as well. By the way, if you're not on the channel, if you haven't done that on the channel, so you don't miss all the videos, because in addition to doing live stream reviews, we also do YouTube channel reviews. We also publish YouTube videos as well a number of times throughout the week. We also have the town hall every Sunday and much more. So this is going to be a good show. So Leticia, in addition to obviously asking where people are tuning in from, we also start the show off with a question. And what question is that? What is that question this week?
Yes, I'm really excited about this topic because it's fun, but it also is controversial in some areas. But it's really about, are you publishing? Would you prefer, doing your show live in person? Right? Or do you like the pre-recorded option? Because StreamYard has a brand new option and opportunity for us to create pre-recorded and publish that as a live, or take a past live and publish it, repurpose it again. So really want to ask you guys, which is it that you prefer? Me personally, I'm a mother of 5 kids. So right now the kids are going back to school. I love the fact that StreamYard has a way for us to pre-record our content and upload it as a live. So that way we don't feel bad as a mom, like we're missing out, dealing with the busyness of our lives. But both tools are very lucrative, if you're using them consistently. So let us know in the comments, guys. What do you prefer? Do you like live or pre-recorded, or are you using a little bit of both?
Fantastic. Yeah. And so what I want to do, by the way, I'm not sure if everyone's seen this yet. So I want to just give you all, how about this? I'll give them a quick demo. And while we're doing that, Leticia, do me a favor. Let's drop the link to bring people on screen.
Absolutely. Yes.
To have them join us, and we can talk about their live streams, any challenges they're facing. Maybe they even have a question if they should do a live versus pre-recording a live.
Or when is the right time? Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a great question, actually. So I'm going to open up my StreamYard dashboard here and show you all this. And so there's actually 2 features, by the way, that we released. The first one is the pre-recorded live streams. And so let me go ahead and show you how this works. And by the way, while we're doing this, Leticia, if you see any good comments from people, feel free to bring those in.
Yes, Adam Expo says he's going to be joining us on screen soon, so I'm excited about that.
Yes, we do have the Owen video donation stream
yes.
going. Yes. Someone
asked, what are the rules for passing off pre-recorded as live on Facebook and LinkedIn? Anything you want to say to that, Christian?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so before I bring up the demo, I'll answer that question. And so the rules for passing off pre-recorded as live. So I know on Facebook, Facebook has Facebook Premiere. So
Yes.
if you want to, you can do this on Facebook. But that's if you're just using Facebook. The benefit to using StreamYard is that you're able to actually multi-stream this to different destinations. Now, in terms of the LinkedIn side, LinkedIn actually does not want you to use pre-recorded video. And they specifically state that in their terms.
That's right.
Let me actually see if I can find this so I can highlight this for you all. Let's see if I can get this one real quick. So I want to show you all this because, again, it's a question we get quite a bit from people wanting to see this. So let me talk about that first, and then we'll go and show you all how you actually go about doing this. Okay, so here's LinkedIn's. These are LinkedIn's terms and conditions, basically. So this is their terms and conditions over on LinkedIn for running a live stream. And there's a very specific line. I'm going to zoom in first of all, actually. Let's do that. Let me know if that's too big, Leticia. Does that look okay?
That looks good. Yeah.
Okay. So these are the guidelines for LinkedIn in terms of live streaming. Do not use pre-recorded content. All streams must be live and happening in real time, or you may confuse members and potentially betray their trust. So, so that's what LinkedIn says. Now, in terms of will they, not allow you to use LinkedIn if you're actually doing this? I actually don't know the answer to that.
Yes.
This is sort of, you think about it, this is a bit, vague. Don't use pre-recorded content. All streams should be live and happening in real time, or you may confuse members and potentially betray their trust. So that is one thing you do have to think about with live versus pre-recorded, and it's the fact that you're building trust with your community. So if you're the person that's just going to use the pre-recorded to fake going live, and you're not going to tell you need to be transparent with your customers. That's the bottom line. You should always be transparent with your customers.
That's right.
So if you're not going to be upfront with them, then that doesn't you're not building goodwill with them. So for example, if they find out like, oh well, hey, you've been doing this as passing it off as a live versus actually just telling me, hey, you know what, it's a pre-recorded live.
That's right.
Again, if you're wondering, well, hey, why are my customers not sticking with me? Why are they going to other people? That could be a reason why. So, like I said, I don't know if LinkedIn has said, like, this specifically doesn't say they're going to kick you off if you do it, but they don't encourage it.
Yes,
so,
yes.
What do you think?
I was saying what I've seen right now, currently people are putting in the title that this is a pre-recorded video. And I think like Christian was mentioning, being honest and saying, hey, this is pre-recorded. I have done tons of evergreen webinars as lives. And I said, this is an evergreen webinar. So people know, oh, this is something that's just looping and it's just, it's already been recorded previously. So definitely being honest and transparent is very important. And I could see why that's platforms like that on LinkedIn, very much so. But Alex mentioned, there's some good questions here. Does a pre-recorded video have to label mark pre-recorded just to be safe? Right, Christian? I would definitely just mark it like, this is a pre-recorded video. Just put it in the title or somewhere in the description that this is a pre-recorded video.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, you can do it a number of ways. Like, you don't have to necessarily say in the title that it's pre-recorded. For example, if you use Facebook's Premiere feature, so the way Facebook Premiere works is it will actually it will show up as a
premiering now. Yeah, same thing with YouTube.
Yeah. So, so like you could have a pre-recorded video that you're basically premiering to people. So, so I guess you also have to look at it like this. A lot of people I'll use an example. So if you were, let's say you're a band and you're going to premiere, and this may be old now, I guess, or dated, but a band used to make music videos and they would premiere a music video for a new hit single or something like that they were launching. So the benefit to being able to premiere a video, or for example, to take it to pre-record it and bring it in as a live video, it does then also afford you the ability to, if you kind of think about it, like right now, Leticia and I are live talking to you all, and we're able to read your comments and interact with you. However, what ends up happening also is there might be more comments than we can handle.
That's right.
And so therefore we're trying to be live with you, but we're not able to always moderate the comments
exactly
like we want to. However,
And that's what streaming is
yeah.
about. It's about engaging. Yeah. Go ahead, Christian.
Well, I was gonna say, and if you decide you want to then pre-record a video and run it as a live, the benefit there is actually it's the opposite of that, which is it shows up as a live video, but then you could just be in the comments responding to people. So it does afford you the ability to, if you have a really active community, it lets you actually spend a lot more time with your community.
Exactly. And I look at it as also you guys creating some form of consistency. For me personally, certain times a year, I have no choice but to do pre-recorded content because I'm just way too busy. I can't commit to scheduling certain lives. Yeah. So that's also another spectrum of it, is saying, hey, at least I have that option to at least batch maybe do like 5 videos in one day and then schedule them out, throughout the week. And it just, it makes you feel good to know that you still have, content going out there. So I do see both sides of this feature that people can use and be very well successful at it. Yeah.
And speaking of live versus pre-recorded, by the way, so and there's a great question here by My Vivid Life. We'll bring that here in a second.
I seen it.
One thing I want to mention about doing live versus pre-recorded as well is, and there's a great example in here as well from another user, Facebook user, by the way. By the way, if you want us to see who you are, just go to streamyard.com/Facebook and authenticate so we can actually get your photo.
Right.
Because they love the pre-recorded feature. It allows you to record and avoid the lack of internet speed, then broadcast directly.
That's true.
That is something you need to keep in mind as well.
That's true.
Most of the time when people are doing live streams, they're doing it from, I think, Leticia, are you taking more notes, by the way? Taking notes? I always give her a hard time, but she's taking, it's good to have, take notes during the shows.
I always got a notebook on my desk. You're funny.
So what I want to say was like, okay, so for example, if you are, let's just, a lot of times when people do live streams, they're in a dedicated studio. They're not actually moving around doing a live stream, so they can have, their lights and their good mic and their camera and their, backdrop and whatnot all set up. And so the thing is, you're always in a consistent environment. But if you are somebody that, you do have to move around, or you are starting to move around more, and your internet, you never know what the internet's going to be. For example, if you end up at a hotel at a conference, the internet at a hotel or a conference is not always that good.
No, it's not.
For the most part, it's actually really bad. And
it is.
Trying to live stream, it makes it hard, right? So if you're like, oh, well, I'll do it at this hotel, well, if the internet's not as good as the one at your, your house, for example, your office, that's a good time to pre-record your live stream.
Exactly. And I'm thinking too, for like, if you're doing interviews, I know, Christian, you have a show where you always have a guest on every week. For those who have guests that can't make it on Pacific time that you do your show, you can, pre-record. I did, like, for example, I did a summit last week, 3-day summit, and we pre-recorded the whole summit and then streamed it as if it was a live. And I'm telling you guys right now, it made me feel so relaxed because, you're not dealing with, the speakers are not saying, when I'm supposed to be on, what time, oh my God, how am I going to upload my presentation? We had everything done months prior, and then we just streamed it in the side of a Facebook group. So getting creative.
And so that is one thing to think about. Like, so I'm going to bring up this question from My Vivid Life. When might a pre-recorded video make sense? So I'd say a couple things. So for starters, like, I'll tell you right now, like, I used to do a show and I would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to do my show to meet the times of my guest. And so like my guest, for example, might've been in like Pacific Standard Time. Like, so for example, there was a big issue there doing that. So if I want to have somebody on, they don't, a lot of times they might say, well, hey, that's too early for me. So now if I have somebody on like that, for example, I could pre-record that video with them and then premiere it as it's a live video through StreamYard. Alternatively, if you're at a conference, I mentioned that earlier, if you're going to be at a conference and that cuts into your normal schedule, do a pre-recorded, do the exact show as you normally would in your dashboard, but pre-record it. And then just make sure, at the beginning, maybe there's a note that says, this is pre-recorded, just be upfront and transparent, and then make sure, and this is key, go back and answer the questions. Don't just do the stream.
I know. Okay, yes.
Like, on to the next one. Do the question, go through the questions, go through the motions like you normally would. This also reminds me, Leticia, of like a TV show. So like So for example, like a TV show or even sometimes sports. So like if the sports like broadcast, for example, say there's a rain delay, they'll put on pre-recorded content, and guess what?
That's right.
They'll put up a message that says this is pre-recorded.
That's right. Yeah.
So
another thing I want to add too is that I've seen a lot of people pre-record content, right? So they would pre-record their show and they would do a live show inside their paid memberships like Patreon and what have you.
Yeah.
Still using StreamYard though. And that's quite cool to create when you're pivoting, because the lady asks when is the right time to start pre-recording content. It's like when you get to a point where you're like, listen, I want to just pivot a little bit and focus on building community and just focus on my time, energy, and effort inside the community. But still want to be able to create some form of content on your public pages. That's another strategy you can take as well. So, yeah.
Perfect. So let me see if there's any other, questions.
Yes. And Joey's up first, just so you know.
Yeah, no, that sounds great. Actually, let me just read through the comments real quick. So, so Demetrius is asking, what's the fee after so many live streams? So I'm not sure which fee you're referring to, but if you go to StreamYard's,
let me tell you something. If StreamYard was charging a fee for every stream, no, there's no additional fee.
No, it's
unlimited lives.
Yeah, it's the thing you have to remember. So like if you're on the free plan, for example, you have like some streaming limits there,
like hours,
up to 20 hours per month on the free plan. And then if you upgrade to the basic plan, there's 4 hours per stream, 4 hours per stream, meaning the stream could be 4 hours long, for example. And then multi-streaming gets 3 destinations and whatnot. So
so that's
what you're referring to. Very cool. Okay, so let me take a couple other questions here.
Charles, you're a mess.
What, Charles? Is that
in the comments?
Okay. Yeah, so I do want to make sure we do mention this. Facebook user is saying in a pre-recorded, you can't present the comments on the screen. Right. So again, that's because of, for the most part, it's very, I think it's a limitation of the platform. Like, for example, Facebook, LinkedIn, et cetera, like what they allow you to do. So like I said, the way you would do this is so actually, how about this? Let me show you how you would set up the pre-record, and then let's answer this question.
And while you're setting that up, Christian, it's like, I like the option to pre-record and not allow comments, because now making that video timeless. Like I can upload it today, I can upload it next month. So that's another awesome feature as well, that there's not all these other things you're doing with it. Go ahead, Christian.
Absolutely. So, okay. So here's how this is. So I'm in the StreamYard dashboard, and setting up a pre-record is this easy. So I'm going to click on create a broadcast. I'm going to select this use pre-recorded video. I'm going to now select my recording, and I can either choose a past recording from the past 15 days, or I can upload a file myself. So let's just say I was going to, let's see, let me pick one actually. Let's just pick like this one, for example. This is a 37-minute like live stream we did. So I just would, let's see. Oh, 1 second.
A lot.
Let me find one actually. I'm having a few challenges today. What's going on? Okay, bottom line is you pick a video that's in here, and then you pick a video, you pick the destination, and then you're going to, at that point, be able to go in and schedule it out just like you normally would. You pick the time, the date, and so forth, and when it's going to go out. So that's all you do. That's actually how easy it is to schedule a pre-recorded video.
You create a thumbnail for it. You could actually, what I did was, it tells you, it's an option for you to say when you want StreamYard to publish it. So it doesn't have to be right that very second. Let's say if I'm doing a show next Friday, and I don't want it to be published now, I can have it published on next Thursday, so that way everyone knows on Friday. It's very cool, guys. I encourage each and every one of you to test it out. It's quite cool.
Fantastic. So let's do this. Let's go and bring up Joey. Joey, do us a favor. Give us a thumbs up if you're good to go. Awesome.
All right, let's bring him up.
Hello.
Hey, how we doing?
What's going on, guys? How's it going? Heck yeah. First time caller, long time listener, as they used to say.
Awesome.
What can we help you with, by the way?
All right, so check it out, man. I do a show where like I remotely interview people a lot of the times. Like, say for example, I had on Buff Bagwell a couple weeks ago, and I'm really enthralled and looking at the camera and the conversations. And I don't want to like set up 2 computer stations at the house or here in the studio. And I like to have one of my guys, or one of my mods, be able to remotely control the host features, click the comments, et cetera, et cetera. Is that going to be rolled out? Is that in the pipeline? What's going on with that?
Yes. Okay. So I think you're talking about the Streamyard Teams feature.
Yes.
So we've got 2 things. So the first thing is right now. So the way it works right now is you could basically have your remote person. For example, I'll use Leticia as an example. She's up in, I think, New York right now, right?
Woo-woo!
And so I could send her, she can log into my Streamyard dashboard as me. Okay.
Yep.
And then she would, and I actually think you do have this capability, right, Leticia?
Yeah, I see everything.
So like, go ahead, do me a favor, like bring up a comment or something. So like Leticia can literally just bring up comments right now while I'm remote. Okay.
Okay.
So that's the first way. And typically you want to be careful about obviously who you give it your email address to. The person will log into StreamYard with your email address on your account. And then that will generate a 6-digit code that gets sent to you. And you just send it to them and that's it. That's literally all you have to do. That's the way it currently works. And then we have Teams coming out here at the towards the end of the summer here. We have that coming out, and that's going to have the ability where people don't actually have to do the log in with email and send the code. You'll be able to actually assign them to a team. Okay,
that'd be perfect. Because like a hot because at any number of times I got swappable hosts or swappable mods, so just I could have click anybody. Hey, Jay, you're modding today, and Paul, you're modding tomorrow, that kind of thing. So. That'd be great. Perfect, man. Heck yeah.
So what's your stream about, by the way? Can you do me a favor if you want me to pull it up? I'm happy to pull it up and show
people. Yeah, go ahead and pull it up. It's not really, I know in streams like this, they always say, you got to define your niche. You don't really have a niche. I mean, the model is I was a big Wayne's World fan growing up. If you remember Wayne's World, if you're over like 35 or whatnot. Okay. So like I turned my garage into a studio and we go live Friday nights at 9:30, just like Wayne's World did.
Nice.
And I get, any celebrity I can get to do the show, and then I'm a local stand-up comedian here in Cleveland, so I'll get some comedian friends to help me out, and any athlete I could do. We'll just talk topics, just the typical show about everything, but it's really more about me as a personality and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So
cool. So is it a YouTube show or is it a?
Yeah, it's a strictly YouTube show. Friday nights.
What do I search under? What do I do to find it?
Just youtube.com/STD podcast. If you type in Square Table Degenerates podcast, it should come right up. Even STD podcast should come right up.
Very cool. I want to pull it up. I want to show people, and then I have a question for you for our viewers. Okay. So let me go ahead and bring up this. So this is his, and I hope I've got the right one here. Looks like I do. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
So this is Joey Edible's YouTube show here. So you've got about just under 600 subscribers. Nice job. I don't want to give you too much like feedback in terms of like, on your actual like stream. One thing I would change though is this pop-up shows and shorts at any time. Like you've got the arrow, but I don't know what the arrow is pointing to. It's I assume that's an arrow.
Oh, that's if you look at it on the big TV, that's a big pot leaf. That's part of
Okay. So what I would say on something like that is make your adjustment on your design so that people can see it. So basically what Joey Edibles here is doing is he's running his stream over to or putting it where it can be viewed on a TV. And that's awesome because basically this graphic that has this Square Table Degenerates podcast on it would actually show up on the screen, full screen.
That is awesome.
When you bring it back on YouTube, it does get cut off. So there is a way to preview that. So when you are setting it up, there's some different, I think they let you see what it looks like on a TV versus on a computer versus on mobile. I'd recommend, that's one just recommendation I'd make for you. In terms of your guest, so how do you, so you mentioned this and I know people are going to want to, they're going to want to know this. How do you get, how do you get people, how do you get celebrities? How do you get, personalities to be on your
Great question.
Streams?
It's literally it's just asking, but it's about how to ask.
Yeah.
I mean, because I have an IMDb Pro subscription, so I can email agents and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I'll get them on social media sometimes. I'm like, hey, do you have a booking email? I come in very innocuously, just very uncounted. I'm like, hey, do my show, and I just say, hey, do you have a book? I found that do you have a booking email line really works good because that means I'm coming to them as a a promoter entertainment kind of show. And just forming personal relationships I've had over the years, and just sometimes getting lucky. Like when Peter McNeely on it, I just literally messaged. He was like, it was the first celeb interview was William Hung. Literally, it was right after. Well, how we even went into this? Normally, it started out as a Square Table Degenerates podcast, just the table, 4 of us sitting around talking about the table. That's why the Square Table. And then when the lockdown hit, that's when I found Streamyard, and I was like, we got to do something else besides just talking remotely. So that's when I was like, William Hung, why not? Because we first started out, we would joke about William Hung, like it was a running joke in the show. So I just DM'd him on Facebook, and he said, "Sure, I'll do it." And actually, we pre-recorded that. I recorded that and then shared it as a unlisted video on YouTube. So I kind of did the pre-recorded feature. I've always kind of been doing it like that, just done it as a YouTube unlisted video. Okay. It kind of rolling like that. And after that, we just, whatever celeb we could get on live Friday nights at 9:30, we would do it, man. It's been
that is fun. Amazing. Fantastic.
Yeah. So the key takeaway for everybody who's watching right now, the key takeaway from Joey Edibles to get a celebrity or a personality, or a public figure essentially on your live streams. The key thing is, and this is as simple as it is, just ask people.
Just ask.
As simple as it is. Ask them, kind of have, I would say you probably have to have your like sort of elevator pitch ready, right?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, do you want to be on my, on my show there? Because their next question is going to be, what's it about? And is it, how do I fit into that? Things like that. And obviously, you didn't just like, you also asked like with certain language versus, hey, you want to be on my show? Because
and you got to know the person. You got to follow the person. It can't like people know like, oh, you just want me on your show. You don't really follow me. So it's like, think of your power 100. I say, make a list of 100 people that you want to do an interview with, or you want to do a collab with, and reach out to them. And get it is really about a pitch is about how can you give value to them.
What I found too is that if I find a connection that like a local connection, like I'm up here in Cleveland, so like a lot of people from the Cleveland area moved out, we got an upcoming show at Norris Cole. He used to play for the Miami Heat, basketball player, and he went to Cleveland State. I'm up here in Cleveland. I go to all kinds of Cleveland State games. We're big Cleveland State games. We found it, so I tagged him on Twitter, and his buddy Sean Davenport was like, "Oh yeah, he'll do it. He likes the Cleveland State connection. That's cool." So I mean, any kind of obscure connection you can think too. You just really have to connect with them as a person before you reach out to them as a guest. And that really helps, man. It does so much. And because if they can relate to, oh yeah, I went to high school with your brother, or oh yeah, this and that, that really kicks it, man. They dig that.
Yes. That's good. And reaching out to like I was saying, become that local celebrity, like reaching out to people locally. That right there is your locals will support you first, hands down. Especially in Ohio.
I've got a lot of local radio guys in the show, just local Browns players, stuff like that. It's they love the local thing for sure, man.
That's good. I'm glad you're doing that. I just followed you, by the way, so I'm going to be stalking you for a little while.
Oh, appreciate it. Heck yeah, definitely. If you ever want to binge watch, man, I'm telling you, it's and I'll talk about pumping up yourself, but it's that's what I try to do is I try to make it not. Just this week, get on the chat and just type in my show, this week in my show or whatever. I try to make the show rewatchable. And like some of the shows get a lot of rewatch. Like 3-4 weeks ago, I had on Buff Bagwell, man, and for some reason he just hit the news right at the right time, and I got like over 1,000 views on that.
Yes,
I mean so sometimes just hitting the right person at the right time on their news and stuff like that, man. It's sometimes just a pure dumb luck game, really.
And just being aware. That's all it is. Like you being aware of what's out there and then talking about it. I love that.
Fantastic.
Sure.
So I love I love A, hearing about your show, and B, the tip that you shared to help you bring in more guests. So love the advice. Are there any other questions for us?
No, it's about it, man. Just thanks for having me up for sure. It's been a pleasure, Christian and Leticia.
Thank you. Cool.
Awesome.
All right. I'm about to go get some wings, man. I'm starving. All right.
Wait. Woo! I love it.
Thanks, Joey.
All right. See you guys.
Bye. Very cool. Okay, Charles, we'll bring you on in a second.
We're gonna bring you on. I just want to believe.
I gotta say that was a good tip there, actually, to get guest on. Again, like, and I love your example as well, Leticia. Like trying to think ahead. Like, okay, if I want to have don't struggle with getting guests. So, for example, think about like, okay, I'm gonna I have 100 people I want to have on my show. You're not going to get all 100.
You're not going to get all. Yeah, it's just making a list. Yeah.
But make the list, sequence it out as well. Like, okay, you know what? Do I want to have, for example, if there are a lot of really big names you want to have on, don't expect like, okay, I'm going to have like these 5 people on my next 5 shows. you may only be able to get one, or it may take 6 months to get one person. So you need to think about that, but you need to start building that list and then work from that list.
Work from that list.
It will get a lot easier. And then another little tip that I want to share is when, and I always tell people this, when they say, well, how do you keep getting guests booked? I always ask the guest after they're on the show, hey, do you know anyone that would be good?
Exactly. Yep.
Then I encourage my guest, if I want them to come back, I give them the booking link. So I say, hey, here's where I let you go book. And then 2, I ask them if they have a guest, and I give them, and say, hey, can you do me a favor? Can you make an introduction? Things like that to help you fill your pipeline. And
it just keeps going and going and going. And I say 100 because that will keep you motivated. Because if you just have 5 people and all 5 of them say no, you like forget it, shit. I'm not going to do it anymore. It's like having that running list, and you never know. I mean, Oprah Winfrey's still on my list, so one of these days it's going to happen. So we'll see. But again, want to answer some questions in the comments first, Christian?
Yeah, let's do that actually. So, let's see. So I'm over here. I've got, I'm at Airline Videos at 1217 is asking, can we get the ability for a guest to zoom in on their cell phone? It's much needed for our live streams. So that's actually, I think I've answered this one before, but a lot of times the browser has limitations on what they give you access to. So for example, it's potential, it could be a security thing. I don't know exactly, but that's part of the reason why it's not there. But I will make a note, by the way, for that while we're actually talking. We get that one all the time. By the way, if you do have a question, all you have to do is put in hashtag ask, and then put in hashtag feature if you have a feature request. And what I'm doing literally is, as you guys are giving to me, I'm making notes. So okay.
As it is.
Leticia, feel free to run through some comments while I'm doing this.
I love this comment, that Dr. Seb Talks Money said. She said, we have to let them know the value of appearing on our shows, and we don't have to have a big audience to pitch. That's right. I have lots of guests I didn't have a connection with prior to inviting them. I love that point. A lot of times,
let me see. So, what other questions do you have, Leticia? I'm gonna let you run the questions.
I'm running through them to see. Hey guys, yes. Someone asked. Kathy said, "How can guest control in Streamyard?" I think you answered that already, Christian.
So how can a guest control the live stream? So we have to look at it like this. So, for example, when we bring Charles on, Charles cannot control the live stream. So all Charles can do is, he basically appears to us inside of our studio. So the only way that a guest would be able to control your live stream is if, again, you have to trust them as well, because you basically are giving them access to your live stream dashboard. So you give them your email address that you use to log in with StreamYard. They log in, it's going to generate a 6-digit code. And then you take that 6-digit code and put that in, or they put that in their StreamYard dashboard when they log in, and then they are logged in as you. So for example, Leticia is logged in as me right now. And so then that gives her full access to everything that I do in the dashboard. Now we are working on StreamYard Teams, which is also rolling out here this summer here. And so that's going to, allow you to have some different levels of permissions to control, who's an admin, for example, co-host, etc. But if that's what you're asking about, that's the way you do it right now.
Okay. Coffee Talk. Hey, Coffee Talk Tech. Do you have a present community setting for your live streams, like slow mode on comics, etc.?
Okay, so we don't have preset community settings. But that is a good request, actually. So I'm going to make a note here. So okay, keep going, Leticia.
Oh, someone's asking how to pronounce my name. It's Leticia. Okay. Walter asks, does Calendly, I think that's what you meant, and Google Calendar work together so that I like that idea too. That would help me out a lot if they had that integration. Good feature request, Walter.
So I'll make a note about the feature request, about the ability to, have some sort of tie-in. Here's the way. So I'll tell you right now, this is my process. So you can use Calendly, you can use Harmonizely. There's, I think it's called like TinyCal, I think is what it is. So there's a few services, and basically the way they work is you set up here, let me actually see. I actually might be able to log into this. So basically the way they work is you set up different calendars that people can go book. So I'll use an example here. So let's say, so we do Livestream Impact is one of our live shows. If we want to have a guest come on, we don't do back and forth email. We don't do back and forth messages. We might say, hey, like, let's say Charles was our guest. We might say, hey, Charles, would you like to be a guest on this show? We will send him the link inside of Calendly, for example, or Harmonizely for the specific calendar for that show.
Yeah.
And that might, and the way it would work is, like, let's say the show is like from 1 to 2 o'clock, and that's the only time we do it on Mondays. So we'd send an invite link to that specific calendar, and it only lets them pick the open 1 to 2 p.m. times on the days that we set.
Right.
And then let's say Charles books. So then it actually hooks into Google Calendar at that point. So the answer to your question is yes, they do work together. So basically Calendly, Harmonizely, those kinds of services, they're so that you don't have to do the back and forth of, well, hey, when's this person available? When's that person available? You as the host set up a calendar specific to your show. You send a specific calendar invite link to anyone you want to book on that particular calendar, and then it hooks into Google Calendar to basically then add it to a calendar. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, totally.
Very cool. Good question. Okay. Let me see. So we got that one.
Someone asked a feature request. I love to be able to pull out a poll from Streamyard chat for YouTube live broadcasts.
So are you asking? I need to understand more about that one. I'd like to be able to pull out a poll from StreamYard, from a StreamYard chat for YouTube live. So for Villa, actually, can you do us a favor? Actually, can you join us on screen here?
I'll add the link.
Yeah, let's see if you can join us, because I want to understand that request. I'm happy to take it down. I just want to understand it. Yep. Very cool. Let's see. So Payo Time, let me bring this one up actually as well real quick. So Payo Time is asking, is there a recommendation for hosting trivia on StreamYard live streams? So there's a few ways you could do this. Facebook has one in Facebook Live Producer. So that's an area let me get the actual URL for you all. So
I like the trivia idea.
Let's see. Let me get the URL. Facebook.com/live/producer. And so there is a way within there to go, like, this is if you're just running a live on Facebook, you'd be able to go into Facebook and actually run a poll. The other options, you can always use like a tool called Kahoot. Other services as well. Like they basically they can integrate. So
yeah, Kahoot is quite cool.
For Villa, by the way, you don't actually have to be ready. If you want to, you can just literally come on with your audio avatar as well.
That's right.
Just let us know. Very cool. Let's see. Oh, how can you voting polls? Okay. So how do you voting polls in the YouTube chat? Like the option available in the StreamYard chat. So it would that would actually come down to what actually YouTube actually allowed. So for example, YouTube doesn't allow all their features from YouTube to be available outside of YouTube. So like, for example, they may, because here's the thing, everybody wants to keep you on their platform. So for example, if they're like, oh, hey, we'll let you embed it on your website, they may take away some of the features that are only available natively on the YouTube platform. So, but that is a good question. And I actually do have it noted right now as a feature request. Awesome. Okay. So let's see. Let's stop there with that question. And then let's bring on Charles.
Charles Matthews.
Thumbs up. You good?
Sorry, I was wiping away the tears. I miss you guys so much. Haven't seen you guys.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you.
Just loving this thing. You know what the thing is? I'm watching all the questions, and these are some great questions and ideas coming up. So this is fantastic. I don't know about you guys, but during, I think it was Wednesday, I put a blast out in the community that, StreamYard is game changer now. They've changed their platform, new ideas, game changer. Everybody's like, Charles, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm like, have you ever noticed you can change your order of your downloads now?
Yep.
You can rename them.
What?
You want me to show this right now? I'm happy.
Please show it. I didn't see that part. Wow.
I've been working with it all week because I have a big show coming up tonight, 3 hours show, and I have over 52 videos, and I'm just uploading and changing it. Listen, you guys just changed my life.
Okay, so what Charles is showing here, let me go back to full screen for just the view with us. So the other feature I did want to mention is that StreamYard, we also rolled out the ability to drag and reorder your how can I put it, the overlays, the video clips, and the backgrounds in your StreamYard dashboard.
And don't forget to add now you can see where you are. So before you would click a video and go, oh, where's my video? What video am I showing? It's highlighted now. So you know where you are. So
this is what it looks like. So here I am, I'm in the backstage, and this is in everybody's StreamYard dashboard. So this is the StreamYard backstage. I've gone over to the brands tab, by the way.
Yep.
And now if I scroll down, so this is what it was like before. You had, 2 columns of items. However, when you get to overlays and you get to video clips and you get to backgrounds, for starters, you can see what's actually turned on.
Yep.
So for example, if we brought this up, we could see exactly which ones are turned on. There's another little feature. So for example, we had this is in your StreamYard dashboard right now, this StreamYard overlay. If you want to actually remove these now, you can simply just click the 3 dots and delete that one. So that was a stock overlay that was in there. So if you want to remove it, or even this 30-second video clip, you can delete it as well. Yeah. So, and then also, to Charles's point,
also go back to that same one. He can rename it instead of saying you can name it to anything you want now.
Yeah. So for example, like this is a countdown timer. We know it's 30 seconds, and I always like to do it this way. I like to do like 30-second countdown, for example. So I might rename it like that. And there we go. There's my 30-second countdown. So I know exactly what I'm clicking on.
Yep.
And then to Charles's point, you can now drag and reorder these. So for example, you just drag them like this. So super simple, super easy. And from a productivity standpoint, I think this is going to be actually super useful. Yes. What do you think, Charles, about this?
Listen, I love this idea. For me, who produces shows for other companies, they send you a whole bunch of files. And for me, I like putting things in order. And then the client sends you, oh, wait, I forgot to send you these 5 other shows. Then I got to delete everything.
I know, yeah.
Order everything. Now I just upload, and then I just drag and drop them and put them in order. I think these are the 3 game changers. I can rename them because they give you some weird name and you're like, what file was that? You can rename it to your own, put it in order.
Right.
And now, before, because you're the host, you go, okay, where's that video I was watching? It's highlighted, so you can't miss it. There's only one thing I would ask to change. One thing. If they can put it back to side by side. 2
right.
Because like yours, you're like me, Christian. You see how far you have to scroll all the way up and down because there's so many? But if they can make it 2 columns to make it more compact, then I think my head would just explode.
Yes, even if the image has to be a little bit smaller, because we'll know exactly what the image is. But making it 2 column, I think, would be awesome.
So give me that request. Okay, so do you want the 2 column back, or is this
leave all the new things where you can move them left to right, you can rename them and all that stuff, but put it back to 2 columns. That way, you see how far you had to scroll all the way down to get to the bottom because we have so much?
Yeah.
If you put it back to 2 columns, it will shrink it to give us more space so we don't have to scroll up and down as the host to find things quicker.
Yeah,
so
and I
people are liking that too. Yeah.
I like the fact that you clarified that it's about like you still want the highlighting, you still want the renaming, but at least have the ability to flip back because you are right. Like it depends on like how complicated my stream is. For example, in this case, like if I have a lot of items in my stream, like for example, if I wanted to play an outro video, like I'm not going to change the background much, but say I want to play an outro video or something, and then I wanted to actually put up like a thank you screen. I have to scroll down, click that, and then actually scroll back up and find my potential overlay that I want to use. So, so I like the, again, this doesn't apply to everyone. It really depends on how complicated your streams are. If you've got, if you don't have a handful of overlays in here, not a big deal. But as you add more, then it's a lot more scrolling. So that's a good point.
Yeah. So people like producers, all the producers on StreamYard, we like it compact. So, and for cues, you know what I mean? When the producer says something or you need something, it's just right there instead of scrolling up and down. But trust me, I put it in the comments and everybody's like, what are you talking about, Charles? What are you talking about? I'm like, listen, go to StreamYard, go to the back end and see what they've done. Even like the new highlights before you go live, all those little things they've changed to make it easier for you, telling you you're not live yet. It's highlighted, little things. Even when you go to set your show, you guys change the back end on that as well. So now you used to just click and it automatically told you. Now it's giving you details. For example, LinkedIn doesn't allow you to redo this. So if you're going to do this, like you have full information on each platform. So you can't say, well, I didn't know I couldn't redo this and I didn't know I could do that. You guys are telling us before we set the schedule what the platform allows. That is big.
Yep.
Fantastic. Yeah, I love that. And NLTMW, yeah. So also going to note your request, 2 columns again. So I just noted that and then put the name under the icon. Yeah. So I like that as well. That's actually a good idea.
Yes, it is. Definitely
a
good suggestion.
Cool. Now, here's the other thing, people. If you really think about this now, like I was listening to all your comments about, restreaming your stuff.
Yeah.
StreamYard, by putting all these new features, just saved me about $200 a month.
Wow.
Okay, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I see Leticia's pen start scribbling already. Well, think about it. I don't know if you guys use some of those old features that Christian and I talked about, like how to repurpose your videos to send out mini content out there and all that stuff. So half of those platforms, I just canceled my subscription.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
Because if StreamYard does that for me now, why do I need those other platforms?
Exactly. It doesn't, you don't have to have all these other plugins and all these other options, just all into one house.
If you set your system properly, you can use StreamYard to do everything you need to do.
That's right.
Repurpose content. Oh, StreamYard does that now. Okay, I need sound. Oh, wait, StreamYard gives you vocals now. Okay, I need replay. Oh, StreamYard gives you replay. Okay, I need scheduling. Oh, they give you scheduling. You know what I mean? Content, everything, it's all there. So if you really see, the thing for me, Christian, most people give up because they have all this stuff to do.
That's right.
They have all this money they're putting out. But if you look at what StreamYard can do for you, now you can cut your budget down.
Exactly.
And when you cut your budget down and cut your time down, now you're going to be pumping out more content, better content, because it's only one platform you have to work with.
Right.
Game changer. So for
like
me,
you say, you realize you don't need all these other things as well. Yeah.
No, and that's money back into my pocket.
That's right.
That's money back in my pocket to do more stuff, like get more cameras, get more lights. You know what I mean? You're wondering about, okay, what I've done. Like I've been away. I've been going crazy. You guys have just saved me so much money. I'm like, hey, why don't I just
full screen? Oh, look at this second camera.
Set up my
nice.
I got you guys to my left, to my right, new systems, power bar underneath, new stand for voiceovers. I'm like, hey, the money I'm saving now, I'm just gonna go crazy and get more equipment.
Really cool.
So that's all I've been doing. I haven't been with you guys for a while. I just said, listen, I'm gonna go spend the money.
That's right.
StreamYard is saving me money to get my own.
So explain what you've added, because so that people know what you added since you've been on the show last.
All right. So because we do so much streaming, and I hear everybody's comments about, the power going down or if my system goes down. So you can actually get, and I'll switch it back here. You can actually get a power surge bar. Okay. So just in case if the power goes down, or if you're in a live stream. So if you see this glowing underneath my desk, there is a power surge bar. So if power goes off during the live stream,
power surge bar.
Yeah, it's a full unit. Okay, and it actually has a power, not just don't get confused with a power bar. It's a power surge. It's a unit that if the power goes off in my house, that my computer will run for the next 5 hours.
Wow, Christian, do you know what that looks like?
Yes, I do.
So it's not a power strip, because I have a power strip.
No, it's a power.
It's a bar. Okay.
Gotta do the Christian thing and run and get the box.
Get the box.
So let's let Charles go and get this. While Charles is getting this, by the way,
let's minimize him. Oh, here he goes. Oh, you got the box right there. Wow.
Okay, so let's go back to Charles' full screen. So now we got to show the camera. He's going to switch his camera.
Let's switch it.
All right.
Oh my God! Power battery backup. Ooh.
Yeah, so basically it's like putting a UPC in your house, basically.
All right.
I like that.
So that way, if anything should happen during your live stream, you don't have to worry about the power going down. Like your kids,
Right.
like my kids, they're plugging in their games and recharging their stuff.
Yep.
My son plugged in his game and shut the whole system
down
while I was doing a live stream. And I was like, oh, it's a good thing I wasn't doing it for a client. So I had to just buy the power bar, put it in there.
Oh my God, I'm gonna give you that.
Okay.
And it's about they range in price from $90 up to about $200.
Yeah.
So just a heads up on that. Again, that's if you're doing a lot of live streams, if you're if you're a producer, for example, things like that, having the equipment. You don't, again, if you're just a casual live streamer, you don't need it. But if you're producing for people and you need to keep things up, that's something to consider investing in.
Yeah. So what I've done too is, they're talking about, doing your own voiceovers, your own commercials. So I went and purchased this stand right here where we can add my cell phone to do a behind the scenes, my headphones. That way I can go into the closet and do my own voiceovers. So you don't need to hire people. You are your own voice. You are your own commercial. So do your own voiceovers. If you have clients and sponsors that are like, hey, I'll produce a commercial for you. So I have all my sponsors and I go into the closet and produce my own commercials for my sponsors.
Wow.
So that takes care of that budget instead of me sending it out to people. Produce your own commercials, produce your own systems. It's all right there.
I got to DM you, Charles.
Listen, StreamYard is all about saving money. That's all what StreamYard is trying to help you do. Remember what their motto is. What's their motto? Right?
I'm going to let y'all answer that one.
I know it's ease of use.
Yeah.
Stream stability.
Yeah.
And the third one.
Professional live streams.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
So if you put all those together, that's what they're giving you. So the thing is what I try to teach my students, because now, because of StreamYard, I'm actually teaching classes. Because now you also have the ability with StreamYard to bring in other aspects of other systems. If you do it properly, you can bring sound effects, you can bring everything into your stream. So now lately I've been teaching classes for high school, college, university students, social media people through StreamYard.
That's right.
Right. So here you go. And then here's the other thing too, not knocking the other people, but let me ask you a question. Why do you have any other platforms for meetings? Use StreamYard for your meetings.
That's right.
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't have to go live. Remember, you could just click on it, send people the link and have meetings within StreamYard. So that just saved you a bunch of money more using those other platforms for your meeting.
That's
if you have a small company and you have less than 10 people, use StreamYard, right? Because don't forget, with StreamYard, you guys can still bring in, like you can share screen. So Leticia has the ability to share screen through StreamYard. I give her the ability to do that. So she has a presentation. Go ahead, Leticia, show your presentation.
That's right.
You can do all these things through StreamYard. So,
and I believe you can add like 10 or 12 people on screen, right?
Yeah, I think they bumped it up, right? From last time, it was only a certain much, and they keep bumping up the number. So, you know what I mean? And don't forget, too, even behind in the green room, if you have too many people, people can still watch in the green room as you do a presentation and all this other stuff. Okay? Key thing, too, you guys also gave the ability to share screen, right? And to share videos, not just if your files are bigger than 5 minutes. We also have that ability.
That's right.
So here's a question I'm going to put out to the viewers right now. What are you using that StreamYard can't do? I'm just gonna put that out straight
Good
up.
question. No, very good question actually.
That is an excellent question.
What are you using right now that StreamYard can't do? Put it in the comments, chats, and I can show you, and I know Christian can show you.
It's all about you all, so I'm gonna
It's a way. There's different ways around that. You know what I mean? Like with the Calendly, I love Calendly. Okay, Calendly's my baby.
Me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
Love it. You know, put it in, make it easy. You know what I mean? If you really set it up, people were asking about sound and how it is. It's like, oh, StreamYard has to, you know, fix their sound. It's not StreamYard. Most times, it's you.
Yep.
It's the equipment you're using. StreamYard is just, how can I say this? Okay, StreamYard is just the burger. Okay? How you build around the burger is up to you.
Up to you. That's right.
Okay, so if you don't want pickles on it, don't put the pickles on it. If you want more stacks, if you want double cheese, it's up to you. Put in what you want to work within that system. So there it is. I just listen, guys.
Okay, so let's see. So there's a couple of comments actually in here. So let's see. So let's just bring some of these up. And Charles, I'm going to let you tackle some of these if that works. Actually,
sure. Hey, I'm
okay.
game.
So Jules is saying why StreamYard only allows for 6 persons. So actually, go ahead and take it. 6
persons? You mean on screen? If it's no, StreamYard can have up to 10. So I've done shows where I've had all 10 people on screen at the same time. So, and don't forget, you can have people in your green room waiting as well. StreamYard actually tells you when you have extra people trying to log in. You have a little pop-up on your screen to your left that says someone else is trying to log in.
Right.
But you can have up to 10 people on screen.
And I think the way that one's coming up is, I think it's because, Jules, I'm wondering, are you on the free plan? Because the free plan has 6 on-screen participants. Yes, that is correct.
Yeah. It depends on what plan you have. Yeah.
The answer to your question is, we actually do allow it. So you do need to upgrade to the basic plan, which allows you to have 10 on-screen participants.
Yes. Right. There you go. So, and here's the thing, though. Before you jump to that, if you don't need all 10, then stick with what StreamYard is giving you. Remember what we said, and Christian always says it, scale to what you need. Okay, for me, I started it, and then as I said, oh, I needed more people, then you make the jump.
That's right.
And it sounds like it's time for you to make the jump.
Make that jump. Yeah.
You're asking, why does it only allow 6? That means you need more space. So
you need more space. You need to upgrade your account. Yeah.
And you either decide, I guess, to go so if you're hitting that wall, you either decide, do I scale back what I'm doing? Or do I go forward with it?
Exactly. Very true.
And you also have to look at how engaged is your audience. So for example, you could easily jump to 10 people on screen, but then how does that impact the quality of your show as well?
Right.
Because when you bring 10 people on screen, and I'm just gonna bring on, I'm gonna bring you guys on real quickly, but I'm not gonna I'm gonna mute you all.
Okay.
So for example, I've got Leticia, and I've got Charles here, and I'm here. And then let's say and I'm going to bring on Jeffrey, and I'm going to bring on Peo here, just so I can kind of give you the example. But then if I bring on, one person and another person, for example, and then potentially more people.
Yep.
You then have to know, okay, if I have 10 people, we don't want everyone talking at the same time.
Exactly. It's going to be a lot. Yep. I've seen the ugly side to that. I really have, because if you have those guests and one person decides not to do it anymore, then you got to find that other 9th or 10th person.
Yep.
So simplifying things is better, and maybe having a guest host every once in a while, but still keep your 6 people. So
see, and you have to know what you're doing, because the only time I have 10 people, my show was broadcast on national news here in Canada, because I did Shave the Head for Cancer with the Toronto Police. So we had all 10 showing people shaving their heads at the same time.
Right.
So that's the only reason, when you're broadcasting a show and an event, and you have camera 1, switch to camera 2, camera 3, show all different angles of the event. That's different. But if you're not,
a summit.
But if you're not producing anything like that, then like Christian says, how much do you really need? How many
exactly
do you really need? All right.
Another
it could become a monster in itself. Yeah.
Right.
So we got another question. I'll let you take this one as well. So Charles, people are asking about background music. StreamYard doesn't have access to background music.
No. So when I do stuff like this, or I put sound effects in, It does. You have to get the equipment to go with it. And don't forget, if you share screen, here, I'm going to do it old school. Say you don't get any equipment, right?
By the way, I know you're gonna do old school, and I'm gonna actually drop a video link while Charles is showing this real quick.
Okay.
Because I know what you're gonna do. So because we have a video actually on.
What device was that, Charles?
So I'm using here. I'll switch it back. So
go ahead.
Remember, StreamYard has the ability to do multiple stuff. So I'm using the Go XLR right here. Yeah. And so I have all the sound effects, my mute button, all right here to change my voice.
So if I wanted to do something different.
So Leticia, he's using a mixer is what he's using. So he's got so he's got a mixer. Like I'm using a Rodecaster Pro. Again, they both like the Go XLR is PC based actually. The Rodecaster Pro, for example, I think can work off both. But
yours I can do it off my laptop for sure, right?
Yeah, so basically you plug that into your computer and then that becomes your audio source, your mic, everything feeds into that. So that's one way to bring that in. You can also go with a tool like Loopback or even Voicemeeter. Voicemeeter is actually a free software.
Yep.
And then, again, it comes back to licensing. So music, for example, you do have to pay for a license.
Yep.
Like even, you can go to YouTube and you can get free music on YouTube. But you have to look at also where you're going to be streaming to.
Exactly.
So,
okay, that's the number one thing. So anything is possible. Is you have to find out, okay, what platform am I going to stream to, and what do they allow? Okay, so that's the number one thing. If you are just YouTuber, then YouTube has music that they allow on YouTube. So go straight to YouTube / copyright free music, and then you'll see a list of all their songs. Okay, so if you're doing YouTube, there are songs that they're giving away for free that you can use on their own platform. Okay, and then here's the other thing too. Make sure that if you're using other songs that you pay for it, number one. Okay, so there's platforms you get the money, pay for it if you really want it. And here it is. It's like 10 cents, 5 cents, $1, $5. It's nothing enormous.
Right.
You can put music in your streams.
That's right.
Yeah. And I did just drop a video, by the way, because we have had this question come up. People are like, well, I don't want to buy they don't want to buy the license to the music, for example, or they don't want to have to buy the hardware, for example. The Go XLR, I think is what, $500. Is that right?
Yeah, six and change.
So, yeah, something like that. The Rodecaster Pro, about the same amount. For people that don't want to go that route, you can buy smaller mixers, for example, that are only like $100 or even a couple $100. But you can also, there are ways, I did drop a video on how you can actually bring music in without hardware or software. So, but there, like Charles said, there are ways to do it, but it still comes back to licensing. You got to make sure you license the music. And also to your point, Charles, you mentioned about playing music, for example, from YouTube. YouTube has a free library. Facebook has a free library, but you have to look at where you're streaming to. Yeah. So, for example, if I'm just going to stream to YouTube, I probably want to just use YouTube's library.
Right.
I don't want to and then but if I decide I want to multi-stream, I don't want to take that music that I got from YouTube and stream to YouTube and stream that same music to Facebook. Yeah, because it's licensing. Totally. It doesn't mean that Facebook has the same license that YouTube has.
And that always ends up you getting flagged on Facebook, but not on YouTube. Yeah.
And if you're just using it for your intro and your outro, 15 seconds, something like that, it's good to go. But if you're putting it throughout your whole entire stream, you're getting kind of sticky there with all your platforms.
Right.
I mean, I use it for an intro and outro, you get it done properly. And then here's the other thing too, which people don't understand. If you really do want music, and here's the funny thing, okay? Beat Maker.
Yes.
Okay. There's your own beat where you can make your own beat.
Okay. And that'd be good because people remember that. You become more memorable. Yeah.
Exactly. Make your own intro and your own outro. Like there's little tools there. You just cop in Beat Maker or whatever, and Google will show you a whole free stuff of beat makers. Make your own little intro song. Make your own beats and then put it behind one of your voiceovers.
Exactly.
And there.
Charles, by the way, to that same point as well, so if somebody wants to make their own music, if you have an iOS device, I'm not sure about Android on this one, but iOS has GarageBand. Every
Yep.
iOS device you buy
Mm-hmm.
has access to GarageBand.
Okay.
And within GarageBand, they have programs for like, you want to bring in a guitar, you want to create a guitar track or a piano track, or you just want to make beats. You can do all of that right from within GarageBand.
Yeah.
And you can export the file, your audio file, and then bring that into your Streamyard dashboard.
There you go. So there you go.
So-
See, I use Audacity. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So because with Audacity, you can change your voice. So you can actually, here's a funny thing. You can actually sing your own song and then go into Audacity and change all the verbiage in your own voice. So it doesn't sound like. So you can put music, change your voice, the intro, the outro, the echoing. You know how I have the echo here? You don't need to use the Go XLR.
Yeah.
Audacity is a free program. You repeat your voice 3-4 times and then go into the program and go use echo, copy it, and then it does the echo for you. So again, free stuff.
Absolutely. And there's lots of great questions here. Like for Villa's asking, saying, you could search for there's a video tutorial. Yeah. Like we've got so many video tutorials on the YouTube channel on how to bring music in. For example, there's one specific to Voicemeeter. So Voicemeter is a free PC application. You download it. You can bring music in from that into your live streams. Again, you do have to buy the license to the music. So you can't just go to Spotify or Apple Music, and play something. That's not like having a subscription to that doesn't mean you have a subscription to the music for live streams. For example, I'll even use Canva as an example. You can create things in Canva, but you got to read the license because I don't think the music transfers over there as well.
No,
I think it's a one-use project.
Yeah,
usually something you're not selling, things like that as well. So you may need a business license. So anything you're making money off of, they usually want you to buy the right license for that. But there's tons of tutorials. There's ones on Voicemeter, ones on Loopback. There's ones to bring in audio without hardware and software. Like there's tons of videos there. If you don't see them, just leave a comment, for example, and just tag me, and I'm happy to send them to you. Okay, let's see if there's any other questions here.
What else, guys? Come on, send it to us. What else? What else can you?
There's a lot of comments and questions
Here's
coming
one from Walter, actually. Another question from Walter, actually. So Walter's asking, are you able to use Epidemic Sound music through live streams? If so, how would you go about doing it, Charles, Christian, and Leticia? So Epidemic Sound is a paid subscription.
Yep.
You would download the music file from Epidemic Sound, and then you just need to route it into StreamYard. And for something like that, if you're on a Mac, I would use Loopback. If I'm on a PC, so if you're on a Mac, you'd be able to select Finder, for example, or your music player, and you can play that audio file through that, and you can route it. Basically, it's a virtual audio cable. So it basically says route the audio from here and my Chrome audio, route them together. So if you're on a PC, you can use Voicemeter. Any other recommendations, Charles or Leticia?
No, the one you just said something and it popped in my head. It's an online mixer. Do you remember which that one's called? It's an online mixer, and you can do everything. It's a program. It pops up on your screen, and it's a virtual online mixer where you can mix. It takes over all your controls, and you can slide up and down just like a slider. And the beat,
Is it you DJ by chance?
I think so. And that's got me thinking, because I was looking at all these things. If you Google, and here's the funny thing, guys, everybody's making new products. So if you Google online mixer, I'm gonna actually do it myself for you. Guys,
go ahead, Charles.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say there's lots of great questions. I mean, people making great recommendations like no copyright sound, great source for YouTube, for example. So good questions. I mean, so Walter, I hope that answers your question about that particular feature. Let's see if there's any other comments. Awesome. Yeah. And Coffee Talk Text saying he uses Loopback. So Loopback for Mac works great. Again, it's a paid solution. It's a great company, great product. They don't usually offer discounts on their software. They only did it like once, and it was because they hit a, like 20 years or 15 years in business or something.
So celebrate.
So Miss Sahara, so you're asking, so is there an alternative to Voicemeter for Mac? The alternative would be Loopback, Sound Siphon, I think Black Hole, for example, but Loopback is the top one to check out for that. The other ones are, I think, a little bit less money, but the loopback service is the better one.
And loopback doesn't work on PC?
Loopback does not. No.
Oh, okay.
So for PC, you want to use Voicemeter.
Voicemeter. Okay, so that's what I have to do.
And there's different ones. Like we always talk about using Voicemeter Banana versus there's something called Voicemeter Potato and so forth.
Oh, yes. There you go. That's the Voicemeter Potato is another one.
Yeah.
Got it.
But yeah, lots of good questions actually. Payo time. I'm going to answer your. We'll talk about your question when we bring you on because he's asking about bringing on custom motion graphics. So we'll talk about that here in a second. Oh, very cool. Okay, let's see. Yeah,
that's great. GIFs. Do you guys know that you guys can make your own GIFs?
You mean something like? I'll throw up a couple like this, maybe.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. So again, why do you need to hire anybody or pay anything when you can do it yourself? Okay.
All in house.
These are a couple that we made that actually we made available to you all as well. If you want these confetti ones, just do me a favor, send an email to marketing@streamyard.com and just say brand assets. We have animated GIFs, some backgrounds, I think, for you all as well if you want those. So
and here's the funny thing. Work with me, Christian. So you have to see what your show wants to be.
Yes, that's
right.
True.
So if you want to do things like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we picked our winner, and the winner is, and then you say the name, and then Christian blows up the confetti. There you go. It brings things to your show. It brings excitement to your show. So if you're working with people or you have it on, there's something instead of just saying, "Oh, okay, our winner is blah blah blah," and there's no fanfare, there's no nothing.
Right.
Yeah. But now you have these little things that you can add to your stream. It brings your stream from here, to the next level, to the next level.
Yes, and it's really about you focusing on those of you who are watching, on how you can make your show better, your stream better. Because I know how it is. We get into that shiny object effect by looking at what everybody else is doing, and I think today's conversation is really about how can you pivot what you already have now?
Yes.
What can you add to it? What can you take away? Like somebody mentioned, adding on additional guests. Is that a good thing to do right now, or should you just pivot back and see how things are working? So it's like, what is the one thing you're going to do better? Like I'm gonna add that confetti because I forgot about that confetti, Jim. I think that's a great idea. And definitely, what's the Voicemeter?
Yeah, Voicemeter is a PC program for bringing sound. Yeah. And by the way, so speaking of, Charles just mentioned that a second ago. Right. So for example, so we just I was going to use this towards the end, but when we do the giveaway, it's okay. But for example, if you're going to do confetti, something like this, you can then, I think this will play. I can, I have some applause that I can play. Charles,
I think fireworks.
You can play sound that goes with it, and so forth.
So put it together. Ready? Ladies and gentlemen, the winner is, give them a big round of applause.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So
together. Put it
and
together.
That becomes part of your show. And seriously, if you have, I would also encourage people, if you're getting into live streaming and you're wanting to do some of these things, this is where, for example, talking to Charles, myself, whatnot, feel free to reach out to people that are doing these things,
right? So
that they can kind of share maybe their process. Yeah. Because for example, Charles may have a different process than I do.
Yep.
Yeah. And and I love that you said that, just because we both use confetti. Yeah. But we use confetti in a different way. Different time of a show, not all the time for my show. Right. I use confetti. Okay, what I use confetti for? If someone says, "Oh yeah, my anniversary's coming up, my birthday's coming up," and I know that before I bring them onto the show, then I'll give them a birthday confetti or I'll give them anniversary confetti. And the guests love it. They're like, "Oh, you remembered my birthday," and all the confetti. It makes them feel good.
We're children at heart, really. I've seen people bring confetti up for commenting, so that encouraged people to bring more comments. Every time they put a comment on screen, they're like, "Oh, such and such commented. This is what they said."
Right. And that's a fantastic idea, because with a GIF, you can actually make a GIF that tells people leave comments here.
Right.
I have that for my show. So if people don't know that they can leave comments, I push a button and it scrolls across the bottom, leave comments here. Right?
And I want to, go ahead, Charles.
Go ahead, Christian. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I want to answer this this comment real quick. So people of the book was asking, if you want to get access to the confetti, for example, that we have made for you all, we've got backgrounds. I think we even may have some countdown timers in there.
Yep.
All you have to do is email marketing@streamyard.com. Just put in the subject that you'd like access to the brand assets that we've made, and I'm actually going to send you the link. I'll personally send you the link. So,
and I've actually clicked on that and found some new ones I didn't have and changed it up. You know what I mean? Because it's all different. You know what I mean? Every week there people, and the thing is, if you're not on the StreamYard community, you got to get on StreamYard community.
That's right. You got to get inside that community.
There is fantastic people that know how to design certain things. There's people in there that are giving away. Oh, I just learned how to design this. Anybody want it there? Click it for free. I've jumped on it. I'm like, this is cool. Okay, I'll use it for a couple of shows. There's always people making stuff and just putting it on there. There's people that design stuff. So if you ask questions in the community, that's what it's there for.
Right.
So I just dropped a link to that one. So Charles, any other questions you have? Anything you want to stay on with us, or?
Sure, I'll stay on. But there's one more I just remembered because you mentioned it.
Yeah.
I'd love if StreamYard will do automatic download.
Okay. Let me make a note.
Because
by the way, if you guys see me like breaking eye contact with you all, it's because I'm over here also making notes as you're talking to me.
I like that idea because I do forget to download my videos, and I really have to download them, like because I use them for other stuff.
Automatic download will be big because now that we're re-streaming our stuff, if they make it like you set the button, it's up to you. Because some people are like, no, I don't want it clogging up my computer. So if you go into the back end and you click yes to automatic download after every show, or you can click no, it's up to you. That would be great. Yes. That way, after the show was done, it waits 30 seconds, and then you just see it downloading and drop it into a box or into a folder or into a box or somewhere that's saved. That would be fantastic.
Definitely. So let me just I'm going to get a couple of links here. I got a lot of questions coming in from people. So let's see. Okay. So for those, if you want access to the GIFs, basically the brand assets that we also have, just email here, marketing@streamyard.com. So that'll get that routed to us, and then we'll respond back and give you all the link to that. You just download the items, and then I started to put a change, I'd say sort of a change log. I put basically a list when we add new things. So that way, if you see something, you're like, well, hey, where does this go? Try to give you some instructions to help you know where you put them. For example, if it is the confetti, that goes under the overlay section in your StreamYard dashboard. However, I will tell you this as well. You can also make an animated GIF and put it in the logo section as well. So
yes, I have that as well. So that is pretty fun, actually. I have there's a GIFs with like superstars and stuff. So sometimes when someone makes a great comment, I put it in the top corner, and he's like is doing stuff. So that's another great one to suggest, Christian. But here's the thing too, that people are not really using your features in StreamYard. So Christian, do you mind showing where you can type comments in, like your phone number and stuff? Do you mind going to your back end?
Yep, sure.
Awesome.
I just happen to have closed that tab, so I gotta go back to it. It's all good.
Sorry about that, buddy. There's this feature that I was mentioning to two people, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't know it could do that." And I'm like, "Okay, that tells me people are not playing with StreamYard."
So let me let you drive here. Tell me where you want to.
Okay, so you see where it's going to make a comment there. So you want to put your phone number so people can see it. You click a button, your phone number will show up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So can you go to make a phone number comment or whatever?
Okay, so let me see something. Actually, why? That's interesting. Oh, I actually add a destination to do this, but basically under comments, I'd go down here to the comments box, and I'd be able to type a phone number. Yeah.
Now show them
private chat.
Yeah, not private chat. When you're going to make a comment, like put your phone number on the screen. How would you do that right now?
So for example, if this was the comment right here, I would just click on that and bring it up on screen.
Right. Now, if you're going to put your own phone number on the screen to advertise your own self,
right?
Go into the brand section to type in your own comments right there.
Yeah.
And then type in, the next one.
You mean banners, right?
Banners. Sorry. Yeah. So there's banners. You can make banners to show up on the screen to give people information. Okay. But the main thing people are forgetting is about the scrolling banner. Because the scrolling banner is something that you can use to showcase all the time. Where like leave comments. If you don't have a gift, you don't know how to make a gift, you can make scrolling comments to go on the bottom of your show to tell people what to do. So for example, remind them, subscribe to my channel, make a scrolling banner, put in.
Yeah. So I'm going to add this banner right now. So for example, let's say this was the banner that we wanted to throw up. So this would be a standard banner.
Yep.
You can drag these back and forth, by the way. You can order them however you want to. And then the other thing you can also do with this is if you hide it and then edit it again, you could turn this into a ticker up to 1,000 characters.
Now look at that. That's marketing in your face 24/7 as you're doing your show. So people can say, hey, and don't forget, if you want me to help you with your graphic design, I'm a graphic designer, call the number on the bottom of the screen that's scrolling right there. I'm willing to help you. And then, all right, back to my guests. And as you're talking to your guests, there's the number for people to get a hold of you for your job, for whatever you're doing. Or it could be an email or whatever. Instead of you keep saying, call me. My number is, just have it scroll across the bottom. There's marketing, there's advertising for your event right there. It's showing you right there.
Absolutely. So yeah, let's do this. Let's bring on we got a couple of guests waiting backstage. Let's go and bring them on and let's talk about that. So
Jeffrey, let's bring on Jeffrey first.
Perfect. So Jeffrey, how we doing? You're muted, by the way. Let me unmute you. There you go.
Can you hear me okay?
I can, yes. How you doing?
Okay, good. Doing good. How about you? Thank you guys for helping me. You and Christian and Leticia.
Anytime. How can we help? What questions do you have?
Is there a way to blur on a sharing screen?
Are you asking like to blur like
say if you blur say if you share the screen, can you blur like a certain area on the share?
Oh. One second. Actually, somebody's got a phone next to a microphone, it sounds like. There we go. Okay.
Was it
I'm not sure. Okay. So Charles, you want to take that one?
Yeah. So I know exactly what he's saying. So if you know how sometimes you'll see a superstar wearing an outfit and it's Nike or something and they want to blur out the Nike because they're not allowed to show that on screen. Is that what you're saying, Jeff? If you want to show something, but you want to blur it at certain parts, they don't see it live on screen?
Yeah. Like say if you like on the application, you can't, I know you can do it on a web page, but not on the app, like on a application.
Yeah. I think you would have to go and edit the photo first before you bring it into StreamYard. Okay. So put it in, edit it, and then drag it across.
So I do want to actually throw out a suggestion. So I don't know if I don't install too many extensions, but there is a Google Chrome extension. It's called Blur It Out.
Okay.
And I think it will let you actually blur certain parts of the screen. So basically you turn the extension on, you blur whatever it is you want to share, and then you share it.
If I remember correct, it comes in like a circle. So you just hover over what you want to blur. Is that the one, Christian?
I think that's it, actually. Yeah. I'm not going to. So I will say this. I'm not going to screen share it because they're using it as like they're showing a somewhat inappropriate like title.
Yeah.
And then they have an image with it. So they basically have blurred out, like they show the photo, but they blurred out the text, for example. So yeah. So that is potentially an option that you could use, I think. But so basically what we come up with is two ways. So one of those is, to Charles's point, you could blur it beforehand. If you wanted to potentially do it like in real time, install the Google Chrome extension, enable it, and then see if that will actually blur out what you want. Okay. Does that help?
I would suggest practice first.
Yeah.
Do a private show for yourself and see how quick you can blur something, how quick you can blur. That way it comes second nature, because you don't want to be practicing blurring something and actually show it.
Yeah, like your phone number. I'm like, I don't think I want to.
Exactly.
So when Charles was asking me a second ago about like, Christian, put your phone number in, I was like, okay, I don't know if I want to do that. So I did give you guys a popular number from a song from a number of years ago, I think.
Right.
But so that is something you could consider. The other thing I use, if I want to quickly blur something, so you can use, obviously if you have Photoshop, you can use Adobe Photoshop to blur something. You can use Affinity Photo, which is basically the alternative to Photoshop. There's also Pixlr, PIXLR. Again, that's a Photoshop alternative for blurring like still images.
That's a very good one, Christian. That one is easy to use.
Yeah.
And it just gives you a big circle and you just go over it and click and it just blurs it right out. So that's easy to use.
And I also use Sketch. So Sketch is where like you can open up the screen that you want to blur. For example, Dr. Sev Talks Money was mentioning here a second ago. I was sharing my investments and had to download and save it to Excel because it would show my accounts if I did it live. So yeah, for example, I don't think Excel offers that blur feature. So in Dr. Sev's example here, they could have either opened that potentially in Chrome, turned on that extension and blurred out the item, but practice that beforehand. Yeah. And alternatively, they also could just taken a screenshot, put it into Sketch, and Sketch literally has a blur tool where like, you just like, do a quick like drawing around it and it blurs out what's there.
Yeah. Anything that you have to blur out personally, if you're doing a live show, I like to preset it, do all the work ahead of time. So when you're doing your show, it's nice and smooth. You're not worried about anything. You just bring them in because you already blurred everything out. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
By the way, Leticia, speaking of blurring, do we need to blur out your?
No,
your
it's
okay.
the only thing that's going to keep her from crying. So.
Okay. No worries. No worries at all.
And here's the thing, people. Live stream. It's live stream. I love that she has little in there and she keeps going. People are worried about live stream. Oh, I made a mistake, or oh, I did this, and oh, I do that. No, it's real. This is why you do live stream. Okay, things will happen.
Yes, it will.
Streaming. You know what I mean? Like I have a button that I click and it says it comes on the screen. We'll be right back, and then I run and do something, and then I come back.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like things are going to happen. Don't let it confuse you.
Don't let it fluster you.
No, man, that's what streaming is all about.
And people will appreciate that because in the beginning, I used to be like, "Oh my god, the kids are making noises, the baby's crying. Oh my god, And it's like when I be like, you know what, forget it. If I have to hold my baby the whole live, then I'm gonna do it. If there's some days she doesn't cooperate, so people appreciate that. Like, oh wow, she's a mom, she's doing this full time, and they appreciate the struggle.
Everybody understands that. I used to see my kids. I'd be like, I'm like, I'm on. I'm like,
I don't want to go here. But when the sign language doesn't work, know.
And I gotta say, so like to that point as well, like so, part of it is okay. So if you're in an environment where like you don't have that free time, like for example, don't try to go like if you know that in the middle of the day, that's not the right like. For example, I use the pre-record stream feature. If you know that okay, I want to go live during the middle of the day, but I got a lot of distractions around my house where I'm going live. Yeah. Then maybe you should pre-record that. So do it early in the morning.
Yep. When kids are
and
sleeping.
Then schedule it at the time.
Or late in the night. Yep. Absolutely.
Or if you do want to go live, flip your schedule around. Actually go live maybe in the morning, for example. Test that out. Again, you also condition your audience when to tune in as well. So for example, if you're trying to really push people to let's say you're like, hey, you know what? I want to push people to get up early and start tackling their day instead of waiting until like the middle of the afternoon to start on what they're doing. Start actually encouraging them to do it with you. Yeah. Like it's like going to exercise. Like, get people like start to get a group of people to go with you. Right. For example, if you like have people say like, hey, I can't find a good time to exercise, for example, like build that community. It's all about building community and then conditioning them.
Yeah, we had a yoga guy on the show one time, Chris. I don't know if you remember. And he explained that too. He was using Streamyard to, he would do his lives while he was working out in his backyard doing his yoga. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And no, absolutely. So, and then, by the way, I just want to make one other quick little mention about the blur tool that people are asking about. So Dr. Sev Talks Money. Again, this is going back to, so Jeffrey, this is kind of going back to what Charles was also mentioning, so Dr. Sev was saying they accidentally showed their worksheet with all their passwords because they clicked on the wrong spreadsheet. This is also about practice.
Yeah.
So practicing what you're doing, for example, knowing what motions you need to go through. This is where having essentially what is a run of show for a live stream is super important.
Yes.
You know, if you're, for example, somebody who has like 100 tabs open, by the way, that's not me. actually, I probably have a lot of tabs.
You have a lot of tabs.
So
As
if
soon as said that, I looked at all my screens. I go,
Start I'm closing some right now.
so if you're somebody that has, for example, a lot of tabs open on your live streams, let's just think about complexities. It's great that you have a lot of tabs open, but that also then can create the complexities during your live streams, because then you have to wonder, well, am I on the right window here? Do I have the right thing here? So if you accidentally have the wrong thing open and you click on it and it will share it live, for example, like this is where, like, you know, you need to try to minimize all of that, like all of the like extra things you have going on,
right,
and just focus on just your live streams.
Exactly.
By the way, this is actually a little tip that I use, and I want to thank my friend Neil Parek for this one. I actually use Google Profiles. I don't know if you all have set these up before, but basically the way they work is, for example, I have a Google profile for just my StreamYard dashboard. So I basically I set up like, and like, for example, it's colored green. So basically I open a browser, I select the Google profile for the StreamYard dashboard, and if I want to access like another tab, it actually doesn't show up within the one I'm using. It lets me basically compartmentalize my projects.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So me, I have that on my keyboard. Yeah. So I set my keyboard when I push a button in the morning to do my show. It only opens the tabs that I need to work onto that show. So no other tab, every other tab is blocked. It only locks in the tabs that I need, so no other tab opens.
Yep. And again, it's all about practice.
Yep.
So, you know, it's getting into the habit, like, again, I mean, so Dr. Sev says, you know, I usually close all tabs, but hey, I messed up that time. That's the other thing. Like, it does happen, but you also want to make sure, depending on what's being shared, for example, if you're doing investing and things like that, passwords and, you know, account numbers and things like that, if you don't want that public, you know, that's where, like, I would say take a screenshot of it. Like, unless people need to see you doing it real time, take a screenshot of it, do your blurring out, for example, and have your file ready for production versus,
And then, sorry, here's the other thing. Sure. Because StreamYard has that feature now where you can play a video and still have yourself on screen. That's what I'm saying. This is a game changer. Pre-record yourself going through the motions of the project.
Right.
And then show it back on screen while you're still on screen explaining what you did. So you can pre-record the video and then say, okay, guys, you know, here I'm going to show you how to do A, B, and C. And it's already pre-done. So you can just comment on what you're doing through the show. So you don't have to worry about try to think about blurring it out and teaching and comment at the same time. It's already pre-done.
That's right. Bam.
Do you have any other questions for us, Jeffrey?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, sure. Oh, sure. Yeah, go ahead.
I have like a few tips. Like, you see the screen back there?
Yeah, sure. Let me bring that up. Yep.
Okay. Can I share the screen from the, let's see, this way.
And Leticia's going to be right back, by the way. She just dropped off for a second.
Okay.
So let me.
Okay, like right here, you see the, can you see that? I have two displays.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here you go. Yep.
Okay, I can actually, I just learned this a couple of days ago. I can actually drag this onto the other screen. You see it?
Yes. Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
And there's a drop menu right here. You see that 1 and 2?
Yes.
You can control each screen.
Nice.
Very
cool.
Oh.
What are you using? A PC, a Mac?
I'm using a PC.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. So it's that you just taught me something, because I do the same thing. I usually shrink my screen to the corner, and on PCs, it automatically turns your screen into a split screen. So if you take anything that you're working on and drag it to the bottom left corner, or if you have one screen, bottom left or bottom right, it actually splits your screen in half. So you can actually have two projects on the screen at the same time. Yeah.
And I'm actually using, let's see, from AppSumo, I'm using getscreen.me.
Yeah.
And it's, pretty cool app to use.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, it's easy to use, and like Christian said, now he's got both screens looking at his project, and it's more easier than trying to open tab, close tab, open tab, close tab. There's another way of doing it.
And then on top of that, like if you are a Mac user, you also have the same feature as well. So if you click and hold on the plus sign, actually here, let me share my window here. So you guys are going to probably see a little inception going on here.
Okay.
So for example, if you're on a Mac,
Yep.
I'll put this full screen here. So for example, if you click on the, if you press and hold on the green button here at the top, the full screen, you should, I think you'll see that. Well, basically what it does is there's this little green button up here. It'll say enter full screen, tile the window to the left, tile to the right, move to the built-in display, move to like iPad, iPhone, and so forth. So they apparently don't let me show that. I guess it's a privacy thing, but that's another option if you're on a Mac actually as well.
And that's a great tool for people that don't have multiple screens.
Yeah.
That's a great tool to use.
Because there was a question earlier. I think somebody had asked about, being able to split their screen up. That's and like you got multiple ways to do it. It's built into pretty much PC and Mac.
Yes.
So, and there's third-party tools you can get as well to do that.
Yeah.
So,
but like you said, it's already built into your computer. Every computer can split the screen. Features are coming in that you can use built into your computer to make your streams a lot better.
Definitely. So again, it also comes down to practice and how you set up your work environment as well. Like if you don't have a massive screen, for example, and you're only working off of one screen, you have to you kind of have to focus on like how you want to set things up. So for example, like we're doing this right now, I have my StreamYard dashboard on one side. And then if there are any notes, I might have that on a second, browser. And I pretty much just resize the window how I want to using that feature. So great tip there, Jeffrey. Thanks for sharing that.
And then like, say if you have like bad internet at your house, you can ask a friend or somebody else and use their internet and then do that share thing. Just,
Yeah.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. That's a good idea as well. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Just ask a friend or whatever.
Yeah.
Live stream from there but be at home or whatever you're going to be.
So, yeah. And share the screen. Yep.
Okay.
Very good. Thank you for that tip.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Awesome. Any other questions for us?
That's it. And use Brave. Use Brave with the sound. It actually works pretty better than Chrome, I guess.
Yeah. So Brave
like sharing
browser.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're sharing the sound or whatever.
Nice. Good suggestion.
Yeah.
Very cool. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. Bye.
Bye.
Which one was that one he was saying? Christian,
he was saying the Brave browser. It's like a web browser. Yeah.
Okay.
So let me just make a note here.
Yeah, okay. I see. And I like his idea with the split screen because I've done that before I started to get all my screens. Yeah. And like I said, you build. So if you don't have enough money to get more screens, then just, your computer can split the screen. Have StreamYard to your right and then have all your information to your left on the same screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if for example, if you have a hard time seeing what's on screen, the other thing you can also do is there are accessibility, maybe Zoom features.
Yes.
There are those kinds of features built in as well. So for example, like if you find it hard to see certain things, there's a magnifying glass. So you can turn on so that like as you're moving the mouse cursor, it will, enlarge certain things and whatnot.
So it's funny that you said that. So every time I do my production, I get to run a show. And that's the other thing too you might want to do is when you do your shows, build a run a show. So opening is the intro. Yep. Second, I'm going to put this commercial. Third, I'm going to welcome my guests. Fourth, I'm going to do this all the way down. Okay, that's called run a show. That way, you're not all over the place. You have a kind of a schedule of what you want to do. We're like, okay, at this time, I'm going to bring in your commercial. Or at this time, I'm going to show you a clip. Like, you already have it pre-scheduled. Your show runs much smoother.
Yep. And another thing also to think about, like, if you want to like learn, and I hope you all want to learn from people as well. So go watch other people that are streaming. You will see that like every one of their episodes, it's not boring. They will do the same opening. They'll do the same closing, for example. Yeah. They may bring up a certain screen here and there in between, and then the content fits in between it. Like that's how a lot of people do it.
Yeah.
And if you want to even take it even a step further, watch a movie, watch a TV episode. You will notice the process is the same. So for example, the intro is always the same. They don't create new intros every single time. So they're doing one intro, for example. You know, you watch a heck, even if you watch a talk show. So like watch like a like what are some of the talk shows that are on nowadays, Charles?
Ellen,
You know?
Ellen show is the same.
Exactly. The intro is the same. They create the same intro and they may run it for like a year and then refresh it, but they're not saying, oh, well, we're going to refresh it, you know, every week or every 3 months or something like that.
No.
They may run it every year.
Yeah. And then to go on your point, she actually does her first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Every show exactly the same. So they have the Ellen show intro.
Yeah.
Then she dances down the aisle. Then she stands up and does her jokes. Then they break for a commercial. Then she introduces her first guest.
Yes.
It's the same thing.
Same
for
thing.
5-6 years. It's the same thing.
Right. And another thing I want to add to that is like we sometimes, because we do this so often, we automatically assume that our viewers know what to do. You have to tell your viewers what to do. If you want them to subscribe, say it. If you want them to like, say it. If you want them to share or pass the broadcast on, say it. If you want them to tag a friend, say it. Say it. Tell your audience what to do. Okay. You know, you got to constantly state your call to action, or else people are just going to just sit there and watch. And you want them to sit there and watch. We also want them to, you know, do something as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And to go on to your point, don't forget, if it's on YouTube, 6 months from now, somebody might watch your show. But if you didn't do a call to action, they're not going to know.
They're not going to know. Yeah, they're not going to know to click the description. Go to the description. I have some more information there. They're not going to know. Yeah, you're so right, Charles.
Call it out. Call it out. I got a special going on right now. Click the link in the description. You know, I can show you how to do blah, blah, blah. Someone watches it a month from now. They're like, oh, okay, let me click the link.
Or go to the first comment, you know, like say it. Say what you want them to do. Yeah.
Definitely love the example. So I want to bring up a question real quick, Charles. Let you kind of tackle this one actually. And then we're going to bring on Payo Time here. And I think we have another guest, John, who, if he comes back, we're going to bring him on screen. Yeah. So Teresa was asking, Charles, can you broadcast pre-recorded shows that are on YouTube, but you want it live under your channel where people can chat while watching it?
Okay, so it is sticky because if you're taking someone else's content, you got to be careful on whose content you're repurposing. So that's number one. Number two, is it possible? Yes, it's possible because if you share screen, like if you have two screens and share screen, and put it under the share screen tab and keep yourself open, then you can do that. You can watch the video and comment at the same time. But the main thing is be careful of what content you're repurposing. If you have the rights to repurpose that.
Exactly. So
if I'm watching Leticia's video and I'm putting it up and I'm commenting on Leticia's show, did she give me permission to do that? Did I ask her for permission? Did I get signing authority?
Right.
To do that. So you gotta be careful on how you're doing it, especially if you're gonna live stream that.
Exactly. Yeah, you want to ask permission first. Yeah, and I know there's a lot of commentary shows out. There's probably 1,000 commentary shows out there. And again, they'll just post a picture of a scene. They won't actually play the full scene. I've seen some disguise the voice of the characters in the scene. That could still get you flagged. I wouldn't play games with that, to be honest. Somebody said they got flagged for that. I wouldn't. It's not worth it. Especially if you're doing something like off of a channel like Bravo or like an internationally known show or something like that. And even if it's another YouTuber, if you're doing that with my channel, I'll flag you. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to ask permission. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. If you ask me and say, hey, Charles, you did a part in your show that I'd really love to show on my show, and this is what I'm going to do. Do you mind me doing it? And I say, listen, I'll let you do it, but here's a signing authority saying you're going to show episode 19 between 1 minute and 30 seconds to 1 minute and 52 seconds.
Right. I'll tell you what I want you to play. There you
go ahead and show it.
Show it. So Stack the Pad said that he uses pictures. Just to play it safe.
And here's the thing: pictures may work. They may not. I mean, I will say this: it's going to come down to like, okay, so I get and I love for Teresa, I'd love to have her join us on screen, but same here. Really even if it's video, like it's okay, it's on YouTube, for example. You just because it's there doesn't mean you can necessarily just play
Exactly.
it during your stream.
Hold on. Hold on.
yeah.
Sorry. Someone sent me something the other day and I had to laugh because I'm like, okay, you ever watch a video, Facebook, YouTube, and then before the video starts, it says, I do not have the rights to this song.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then they play it anyways.
That drives
doesn't-
Christian crazy. Somebody, I don't know if you saw that episode when that lady came on. He's like, yeah, I do. I never had a problem. He was fine in his chair. I was like, Christian, you okay? He turned red.
Chris, I can see it. Christian's face right now. He's like, he's wondering. He's like, well, if you don't have the rights and you put it in the video.
You're telling on yourself.
Exactly.
Here's the thing. But here's the thing. That's a really good, that's a very good question, actually. So, and by the way, Dr. Seb says, that means nothing in legal terms. Absolutely. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. For example, if you're a nonprofit and you're doing it, they don't care.
They don't care.
It's all about
people want their credit. That's the thing. It's like using people's content. They want credit for you using their content, or whether it's you mention their name or you giving them some money. It's like, just got to follow the rules. That's what I always say. Yeah.
And again, I mean, this is the other thing. So Adam's Exploit says he got flagged for playing a 30-second promo clip for a new show where his friends were going to be part of the show. It was A&E. They were trying to promote the show. Awesome. He's trying to promote it. That's awesome. However, there may have been, and again, it may be also the way that, for example, if it was YouTube may have, you may just have to go in and get it approved. But that also comes down to practicing, planning out your show. So, for example, how you watch a lot of you watch a lot of talk shows, for example, and they have somebody on promoting a movie or things like that. That's all planned out. It's all pre-recorded. It's not happening live.
Yeah.
So they do it in a studio. They do it in a controlled environment, for example, and everything is planned out about when it's going on. They've got all the necessary approvals versus trying to do it all right there live without all of the permissions.
And just to go on to your point, you ever watch them interview and the host says, oh, we're going to watch a clip. And the star itself says, oh, what clip is it? They're like, oh, your production sent the clip where you're doing, okay, yeah. And then he talks about it. So it was something that the production team sent and said, listen, you're allowed to use this one. Sometimes the star itself, they didn't even know what clip it was until they're like, oh, it's when you're doing this. And he talked about it. Yeah. So you got to get the rights to it. The production said you're allowed to use this clip. This is the clip I want you to use. So
going back to Teresa's comment real quick here, it's the fact that can you do it? Yeah, you can do it. Should you do it? That's going to be debatable.
Yeah.
I'd also add one other piece, and that's, what's your show about?
That's what I was going to ask. Why? I would love to have her to come on and say, why did she want to do it? What's the reason behind it? That'd be great if she's there. Just come on and just let us know, what's your idea behind it? That's why you're asking.
Yeah. Because again, the other thing also, it makes me think, do you want to be like everyone else? That's the other thing. If you're doing it because, someone else is doing it, or, a friend of yours is doing it, for example, or, a competitor is doing it. How do you differentiate yourself?
Yeah.
So if you're just going to do a talk show, just like everyone else is doing, then how do you make it a little bit different, for example?
And there's actually ways around that too. If there's something that another person's, let me how do I put it? If she's watching somebody and they're doing something that she likes, that she wants to comment about it, then maybe she needs to get someone to make those reels for her, and then she can comment about it afterwards. Maybe that's the go around. Or that person, that's video that you like watching, ask them to make you one. And then you can comment on it. So you're not using the one that they did. Yeah. They made you one for your own personal show.
Yeah. Excellent point.
So that's another way. So you're not using their stuff.
Yeah. And Adam's Exploit says, I don't understand fair use. All these political shows that are playing clips from other shows. Again, and I think you're probably talking about really well-known shows. They probably have their licensing deals, I'm sure, that we don't see. So what they're doing is
they have the money to fight against any strikes that comes against them. That's what I'm saying. Most of us don't.
Yeah. By the way, Charles,
every copyright infringement, everything, right?
Yeah. So again, it's like, and here's the thing: if it's somebody that's not as big, like go and ask like that person, like, hey, how do you do this? Because you are going to probably find out that some people they do it and they've never gotten, they've never gotten had any issues. Other people have done it and they immediately get flagged for stuff. So, but again, create your own stuff. Like that's the key thing.
Yeah, what makes live stream different, what makes anything different is you. You are the best product of live streaming. That's why I love watching these two guys. Like, watching the banter back and forth with them and how they work together and just different comments. You watch people on YouTube for a reason. They bring something. They have their little niche. People are going to watch you for that same thing.
Right.
You are the different maker.
Yeah, it's like looking at everybody first and saying, well, how can I do it different?
Yeah.
And this is why I mentioned the commentary. Like I have another show where I was like, I don't want it to be a commentary show because there's too many of those shows out there. I want it to be this way, and that's why people come, because it was like, oh, this is different from everything else I've seen out there on YouTube or on Facebook or wherever. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Do you want to stick around with us, Charles?
Yeah, sure. I'm having, listen, this is
cool.
I missed you guys.
Okay. So we're going to bring Payo Time. Are you good to come on? Thumbs up. Awesome. Very cool. Okay, so Payo Time is coming on. Leticia, do you have this question by chance?
That's a good question. Yes. Let me pull that up.
And by the way, I want to just, while we're doing this, I want to, mention one thing that we do when we bring people on screen. We try to ask them a question via private chat while we're, before we bring them on. So that way I don't bring Payo Time on and we're like, okay, I have no idea what they're going to ask.
He wants us to check out his channel.
Okay, cool.
There's a question about his channel.
Very cool. Awesome. Okay, so Payo Time. Thanks for joining us for live stream reviews.
Come on down.
Oh, sorry, Leticia. I think I clicked that and you clicked it up. How you doing, Payo Time?
I am well. How are you? Thank you so much for having me on. Love this content. Learning lots.
So what can we help you with? You have a channel, right?
Yeah. So I'm very much right now. I'm kind of a hobbyist YouTuber. I talk about the LA Rams and the NFL, football, that sort of stuff. Okay. And
go Vikings.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I just collaborated with a Vikings YouTuber not long ago. Anyway. But I've noticed, like, with using StreamYard, like, I remember getting excited about getting like 5 hours of watch time a day. But when I started live streaming with StreamYard, I would get between like 20 and 50 hours a day whenever I did like my live show. And I was like, okay, well, obviously I need to keep doing this. And so I was able to take advantage of the deal that StreamYard offered I think it was last week. And so was able to purchase the annual membership, which I'm stoked about. And I'm just learning how to actually use this. What I've learned from this a lot is I need to organize my live streams better. That is probably the greatest criticisms I have of myself right now, that I am an unorganized mess. But I did ask the question earlier about what do you use for like designing GIFs and motion graphics that you can put on screen? And do you just upload them as a video, or do you, are they a banner of some kind?
Okay, I'm going to go and bring on Charles. Do you want to take that one?
Sure. I just pulled mine up. So I use something called Giphy.com. Okay. And Giphy.com allows you to make every type of GIF you can think of, and a personal GIF. Like I took a picture of myself, and it gives you the ability to make your own GIF about yourself. So in my next couple of shows, I'm going to be making a GIF, and it has me doing some weird stuff. Like you can play around with it. And what I love about that is because you're doing something with footballs and stuff, you can actually make a GIF where like the football at a segment of your show can be flying across the air across your show. Yeah. So you can put different things into your show to make it different. Like when I thought about you, and as soon as you said you do things about like the Rams and stuff, my idea of all your show ideas just came running through. You can have touchdown sounds. When someone makes a great comment, put touchdown sounds in. If someone has a comment that you think is great, you can have a GIF of the referee going, touchdown. Wow. Like, make your show different that people want to watch, because you have all these little cool little things in it that you can play around with. Make your show different. You know what I mean? Like, do you have that blowhorn? At a football game, they give you that big, loud blowhorn.
Is that the Vuvuzela, right? Is that the same thing? Or
I think so. One? Yeah. Like you can incorporate anything, because people that love your show will wait for it. Because you're like, okay, when's he gonna blow the horn? When's he gonna blow the horn? Is there a special? Is there a special guest? When's he gonna blow the horn? And he's like, yep, people, you know what time it is. And then you just blow that horn, and everybody's like, all right, he blew the horn. All right, who's the guest, or what specials are coming up, or if there's a trade. Like, say the team makes a trade, and you want to announce the trade because you heard about it. There you go. There's different things you can do to make your show unique that people will come and watch to make your show great. So put the gifts in there. Try different things. You know what I mean? It's all about you. You make the show. Like when you came on, I can tell you got that great show attitude. Like,
exactly.
Like you're fun. You're bubbly already. So I'm like, oh, man, I can't wait to see him talk about
exactly.
He's bubbly like this. How's he going to talk about football? Like, that's what makes your show. It's going to make your show great.
For what you do, it's about the audience. Like, you gotta like include them in some form of way. Whether when they comment, you get ultra excited, like, hey, thank you so much, what you're for your comment, and you're actually answering their questions on the spot. So it's like, it has to be about the audience, like 80% of the time, and the rest is just the design and stuff. What's the name of your channel?
So I have it here. I'm gonna pull it up, by the way. I think I got it. So let me see. Yeah. Okay, so here's his channel, LA Rams. So it's Payo time. Awesome. So I got to say, there's a couple of things that do stand out to me on your channel. These are more questions. I would be careful using anything that is NFL related.
Yes.
Because they're very strict on that. I mean, they're even, to my knowledge, they're even strict on their own teams in the league using, like, for example, social media in the middle of a game, like anything like that. So like they don't even allow like their own teams to be doing certain things with their footage. So I would say, like, I do see like you're using, like, you've got, images here. I'd see if you could use that. I do like your little character you made.
Yeah, I love that. I'm like the cartoon character with the beard.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'd almost suggest like
I love
maybe
the beards.
creating different logos, like reinventing the logo, because then it's something you created yourself. You know what I mean? Like, I might consider doing something like that. You've got a pretty good number of subscribers. You got 500 subscribers. Awesome.
Yes.
You got 200 something plus, 100 something plus people. These are views on the channel. Were you pre-recording these, or are these live?
I started. That's a series that I'm doing. I started them pre-recorded, but then I realized my watch time just skyrocketed when I did them live. So I transitioned to that.
Awesome.
The only thing I would suggest too, like, you see your banner. Your banner doesn't, to me, dictate how your show lives and how you are.
Yeah.
You need a banner, a wow banner, because you're a wow kind of guy on this. I can tell. Like, look at all your freeze frames. You're excited about the football. I would go to, and you can use Fiverr if you're not a good graphic designer. You can use that and get someone to give you a really great banner for the top.
Yeah, I would even look into doing merch if I were you, since you already have the cartoonish character. Like, start making the T-shirt, and you wear that during the show, and maybe start giving those out.
Great idea.
Yeah,
that's a great idea.
This football is live. Football is like I get excited about football. There's a bar I visit every game that the Vikings play, so it's like you can have this movement that you're building, and you're like the forefront.
Does that help?
Yeah, it tons. Thank you. Yeah, I guess my only question, I just with using like the NFL logos and stuff, like, and I bring them into Photoshop, and I try to never show like the full logo.
Right.
Yep.
I see so many other NFL YouTubers doing that, and so I figured that's okay.
Well, some of those YouTubers are already partnered up with like different within the network. I know a guy that does it with the Knicks, where he can show the Knicks logo on his show because he does their after show on TV. So after a while, you'll get those opportunities when they see how consistent you are. But yeah, even if you change the colors, like isn't the Rams like blue, like a baby blue, or
they're mixed around, but yeah, blue and yellow and white.
Right if you change the hex code to it to maybe a lighter or darker.
Yeah,
I'd even throw out this, like, I mean, so for example, you got your T-shirt on, like maybe put some sort of like Rams merch maybe in your sort of studio setup, like, for example, like my studio
like
right
wallpaper.
Now is like the Streamyard, pillow and my like Streamyard duck puddles in the background. Like, you could consider something like that as well.
Go back to, is that where you're sitting now? Is that where you stream all from all the time?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you put a lot of stuff on that wall.
Oh man, I was just thinking that right behind you, you can buy those new blow up figures of the actual football players.
Yeah.
So get your favorite guys, the quarterback, and every couple of weeks you could just change the new people
Change
behind
them,
you.
yeah.
Because remember, you get the what they call it's the jumbo size of the post.
Like a life size.
Yeah, and they can
figure.
get peeled off. They can get re-peeled on.
Oh, the
And
fat
get
head.
your own bobblehead. Christian,
I know what
has,
you're
his,
talking about.
Christian has his own bobblehead
There you
behind
go.
him.
By the way, I
Game
didn't buy my
changer.
own bobblehead. Just a heads up.
Game
By the way,
changer.
This was a gift. It was a speaker's gift, actually. So
That's
I do have,
Christian,
so I
guys.
do have my own bobblehead. So
See,
yeah,
I love that stuff because what it is when I turn into your channel and see you right away, there's no doubt, my friend, on what your show's all about.
Exactly. You have that whole the men beard movement.
You know what I mean? Got that. And then you know what another thing too is, and I'm getting mine done, and you can get yours done. I want to see a big mug, like I mean a huge mug with your cartoon face on it with the football on it.
Oh.
Okay, that's merch right there. Get a huge mug and plaster that cartoon on there, and now and then take a sip, even though you're not thirsty. Take a sip.
right. For example, this is just an empty cup, but like for example, I have a Streamyard mug. If I wanted to like plug Streamyard, I could just
you get a big one.
And this actually has something in it, but like you could just have an empty cup. Like I'm going to go back to the talk show example we talked about earlier. If you watch talk shows, for example, they have. Granted, it's only for like when they do close-ups, but they have a branded mug usually on set. And it's just there, and the person might pick it up and casually drink out of it. There's probably nothing in it. So that's just something to think about.
Or even like a tumbler, something like that.
So I gotta say, I love the idea of potentially putting those like wall stickers up. If
your wife doesn't mind. I don't know if
I'm totally single, no worries.
Oh, okay.
But I like the idea of like, for example, and then again, this is sort of branching you out in terms of like a creativity standpoint. Like if you're not able to use their logo or you don't want to even go down that path, the chance getting in trouble with them, then put up like a set design behind you that has those elements in it and do something fun, for example, because I'm pretty sure that those don't, I'm sure that those do not actually, I'm sure they don't have issues with that. Because you're just showing your fan gear, for example.
That's all it is. Yeah.
So, but yeah, and then you could rotate things out and whatnot. So in terms of your streams, okay. So let's see. So you've got a couple of shorts here. Let me just look here real quick at some of these. Let's pick on what one should I pick up real quick?
Go with the LA Rams fan talking with that one right there.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So with Trent from Rams Talk. So for example, I got to say, I don't know anything about Rams Talk. I don't know what Rams Talk, if it's an official show or if it's like just something that someone else produces. But I like the idea that you're partnering with other people.
Yes.
By having them on.
Right. That's cool.
I'm all about the collab.
Gotta collab. That's gonna grow your channel big time.
Hold on. Here. 1 second. Start from the beginning, Christian, for a second.
It is at the beginning, actually.
Okay, so first thing I'm going to say to you is you need an intro.
Yes.
You need a great intro for
like
your
a hype intro.
I want to hear grunty
football.
I do have one. It's coming.
Okay, here you go. There you go.
Like you and your friends, and y'all just like running, like I don't know. Forget it. We'll talk.
Okay, we need an intro. Okay, so that's the first thing. Okay. So look, right, because I can see right now, like I can see your energy right now.
Exactly. He's hyped already. He's into it.
I like how he goes in the screen, like in their face.
So one thing you could do. So for example, you've got this thumbnail, right? Let me see if I can find it real quick. So you have there is a thumbnail here. Let me see where to go. There's a thumbnail you had. What I would do is I would put that in my StreamYard dashboard as my thumbnail.
Yeah.
So as you're scheduling these out, that goes as your thumbnail. And then what I would do outside of that is like, for example, right now, every single show that we do this. We put this up before we start the show.
Yes, honey.
So we put this up, we play the intro, and then when the video is finished, we have it set to where I'm on screen, for example, or if Leticia and I are coming up together. So that I think that, again, create like a nice branded thumbnail that doesn't really change. for that particular show, and then have, as Charles mentioned, put an intro in that video. I think that would be good, because then when you come on screen, that's your time to shine. And by the way, just a little tip, when you do go live and you have a video, put the thumbnail up. I usually wait about 20 seconds and then start my video, because there's usually a delay.
Yes.
Otherwise, I'll clip it.
And if you're multi-streaming, that's where that 30-second countdown comes in, because stream takes your stream a little different than the other. So when you go live, it's not actually live on that stream yet. There's a little delay. Like I have us open on another screen onto the left, and when Christian puts up a comment and brings it down, I look on my left, it comes on 6 seconds after he puts it on, and then disappears. So it's a delay on your stream.
A couple other things. I like the placement of this logo here. I gotta say, I still go back to, I like the logo. I almost would make that my thumbnail.
I love the logo.
Yeah.
Like that versus like some sort of like a battle or something like that. Doing the Rams versus another team, for example.
Do you think I should maybe swap out, make that my like profile pic logo, and then that one there, I'll start using in my thumbnails because it still conveys the Rams?
That's a good question. Charles, what do you think?
I don't know. Now he's got me thinking about that. I'm like, it works because.
Or actually, what did I'm not sure. Is this the official Rams logo, or is this like?
No, that's a fan made. Yeah.
Okay, so I almost would look at it like this. I think that you should have. I actually would take your character, and that fan made one, and I'd almost put those on the same graphic. I put them on my thumbnail.
There you go.
Right.
Because you know what I like? Sorry, Christian. You know what I like about what you're saying there? It's the brand. That's the brand. You guys start making your brand. So if I go out somewhere and I see that, I'm gonna know exactly that's you.
If you was to wear that at the Rams football game, and they're oh god, I watch your YouTube channel. I know what
exactly. You got to start making your brand. Like you are the face.
The other thing is payo time. So I assume payo time is you, right?
Yep.
So like so that's
I like the your cartoonish logo better.
Yeah.
So if payo time is you, then I would say, and you are the brand, then I would put my face on that.
That's right.
Yeah. So then that way, like you pop up on screen and people are like, they're seeing your energy, for example, they're seeing you in person, your energy, and then they're associating your logo with it.
There's a company called Doodles, I think.
Yeah.
To where they can create an intro with the cartoonish character.
Oh, that's hype. See?
I think it's called Doodles or Doodles Doddles, something like that. And you can set it up and you can actually create it so where you have the character as the intro and you could set a whole scene like a cartoon skit.
That would be crazy. And I know
like the Rams ripping all the other team's heads over, something like that. Not like literally, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So incorporating elements, but not necessarily using the official things. The other thing also I have for you, I got a couple other little tips for you here. So for example, and again, I always tell people like start, ahead of time, go like, 10 to 15 minutes ahead of time with your guest. I try to position you and your guest at the same height.
Yeah.
So for example, you look like you've got good presence because you're right there,
but the other guy's looking down.
And then the other guy, if for example, it looks like he needs to either be closer to his camera, for example, something that, that. And then the other thing is like, I mean, his background, like it doesn't necessarily like fit with your Ram side thing. So I might even see if like, hey, can he do something if he's going to be a regular on your show,
right.
Jazz up.
But
yeah. But I would try to get the two of you close. I want to actually show you this. I'm going to put you on screen. And so remember how I said we have that set of brand assets, like the folders where we have like GIFs and like countdown timers and things like that. I'm going to put you on screen. And what I want to show is this. So we have in that section, in that tool, there is let me see, where did it go? Okay. So let me actually upload this real quick.
While you're doing that, I would just make one suggestion. My friend behind you, is there a plug behind you?
To like the right.
Anywhere behind you, is there an outlet close to you?
I have two. Yeah.
Oh, good. That's annoying enough.
I would go on to, and this is an idea, Amazon, and just buy a strip light. Simple strip light.
Oh.
and put behind you, because see, you have a perfect wall.
Yeah.
You can change to yellow and ram color. So for example, I'm gonna mute you guys for a second.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Oh, I don't think you muted.
You see, my background can change any color I want.
Oh.
So and then
So Charles muted himself. Yes. He's gonna go ahead, Charles.
Blue.
see, I'm changing my background to go with the theme of you. So if I'm on with you, I'm putting my stuff blue and yellow and white.
Yes. Oh.
Okay, so it's simple things that we can do to our background. Like if you don't have the money for like all the statues and all that stuff, put a simple LED strip light that you can control with either your voice or this little remote. They come with these little funky remotes right here. Right? And then you can change it to yellow, green, red, and you can actually fade them in, fade them out. So it will fade in, fade out. And then mine actually has the ability, if I click it, as I'm talking, it just keeps doing a disco show. Okay. So you have a perfect white background that you can just, add some theme lights to your show.
That's right.
Thank you. I'm definitely
So
doing that.
I love that idea, by the way. And you could also, another thing you do, Charles, too, like I love the idea of like doing something that's like Rams colors. If you bought 2 sets, for example, of lights, yep, or even 4 sets, for example, however you want to do it, but you could have the Rams colors on one side, and then you could have the other side could be the team colors that you're talking about, for example, for that show.
There you go. There you go. So hold on.
Have that Viking purple, yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so here we go. Now Christian just made my brain explode because I do produce shows. So here it is. Do you do your show weekly?
I try to do it as often as I can. It's currently not scheduled. Yeah.
So for example, like Christian said, and catch this now, if say the Rams are going against the Falcons are black and red, right? So if you're talking about the next game coming up this Sunday, Rams against the Falcons, have the Rams colors on one side and have the Falcon colors on the other side bleeding across.
Right, because the Rams fans will watch.
Yes.
So even though that's the platform is about the like if you was talking about the Vikings, I couldn't watch the Vikings.
Right. So if you're whatever team they're going against, that's the color on the other side, and your color is on this side.
I like that idea.
That's awesome. Thank you.
2 other points actually. One of those is like, so you don't have to do all this at once. So by the way, the background thing is called, I think they're called fathead stickers.
Yes, that's the word. Thank you, sir.
I don't take credit for that. Actually, John was going to come on. John Stacked the Pads Goaltending was going to come on. He had to drop, but he did throw up fathead.
There you go. That is the one. Yes. I
would say this: if you I don't know what budgets are, but like if you don't have the budget, you don't have to do all of this at once. The easiest thing would be, okay, like I put up a couple of like things here and there. That might be phase 1. Phase 2 might be adding the lighting, for example. Phase 3 might be actually putting up a whole, sticker system. Just think about like the long-term thing as well. Like if you're in an environment where you're going to need to constantly move stuff around, for example, and you don't want to just take up that whole room, that is where like I would actually think about something like this. I would think about building essentially a set that's on wheels that goes behind you or can be flipped around or things like that. And then that way you can have it in your room and then you can move it out when you need to, or you could just flip it around. And on one side's like your show thing. And then on the other side might be, Leticia, I totally want to capture your face. You're like, oh my gosh, like
a rolling set.
Yeah.
But you could have 2 sides. One could be the physical like environment that you normally are in. And the other side could be just for your show and just flip it around, for example. So,
and there's a lot of tutorials on YouTube about rolling sets as well. So yeah, and it is. I just Googled it. Fat head. Yeah, and you can actually make just the head of the players, or you can make the whole body. So yeah, like it's crazy.
That's dope.
And then the other thing I wanted to show you real quick. So I put this in here. I'm going to put you full screen. This is just a tip. So if you get that brand assets folder from us, there is a tool that we have in there, and this is from someone who's helped us do some StreamYard productions before. And it's basically this tool. So this is up. This goes under the overlays. Okay, so here's the way it works. So center yourself exactly. So it's about centering yourself. And this is where you take,
your posture is better too. It's nice. Yeah.
15 minutes before your live stream. You get yourself, you turn this on, you get yourself set up. And then I'm like, okay, so let's say Leticia's here. I'm going to bring you up, Leticia. So then Leticia, we're like, okay, hey, Leticia, we need to have you move back a little bit so that, your head is not being cut off by the top, for example.
It's very cool. Very cool.
And then we bring Charles in, for example. Charles.
Oh, perfect. Charles, yes. He's always
there
perfect.
There you go. And that's just a simple overlay that we have available for you. You just upload it to your StreamYard overlays and you keep it there. It's a tool basically.
Dude, so, I'm taking that right now.
I'm taking that.
I gotta email. Send that
I have some guests that be leaning, and I'm like, girl, get in the middle. Okay.
Oh my goodness! You know how many times I tell my guests, okay, just move it over. Can you move
over? And they're like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Lori, I'm good. Instead, it's like, hey, exactly.
I'm just gonna say, listen, pop that up and say, yo, fit in there.
Yeah, just go in there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah. And then that way, awesome. It also, it's the posture thing. The other thing, so I'm going to throw something out there, Payo. So the other thing you could do also is it looks like your camera is tilted a little bit to the way. Yes. So if you actually could use the wall as your center line.
There you go. Oh, that's looking good. There you see. Ooh.
Oh, so what you mean though, Christian, is like if he has a nice background, he could just have that be more to the side, and he's like,
he's literally like this wall. Like if I put this tool on. It's literally right on the center of the wall. So therefore he now knows what he looks like.
Yeah. And hold on, put that back up, Christian.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I love about this tool? It can use this tool to show if you take a screenshot of this.
Oh,
you can use this to show where he needs to put those stickers, where
Adam is the
lights, where to put the graphics, because it has the lines to show you what people are going to see.
That's actually, I got to say, that is an amazing tip.
Yes, it is.
Did he just say, don't be a tool, use a tool?
That's
awesome. Amen, Adam.
But I love this because now you can see how far I can put the fat head. How far should I put my lights? Because that's what's showing me the sides. See, I wish I had that tool because for me, it's like, okay, I got up, turned it, sat back down, got up, turned it, sat back.
Right.
Oh. They're not going to see that. Move it. That's a great tool, Christian.
And that's also good if you guys like was mentioning. If I'm like about to order some wall decor, so using that tool, I could just tell how far you guys are going to see the decor. Because even with your painting, Charles, is like cut off a little bit.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. So use that tool to tell me to turn it. Because then I was worried about you see the scrolling light thing.
Yeah.
I had to move that 6 times because when I sat here, see how my head's cutting off? So I had to say, okay, I have to move over to the left.
Right.
Can you see the awards? Can you see this? So that's a great tool. I like that tool, Christian.
So here's
what I like the idea of the rolling set, Charles. That was you or Tristan?
No, Christian.
I'm sorry, Christian. That you
good.
Chris is like, I get no love
on
it. This is all about the community. So it's all about the community and everyone else. So by the way, I have the direct link as well. So I'm gonna just drop this in the comments because I got a lot of people asking.
Pull it.
Just do me a favor, bookmark the folder. That's literally all you need to do. Yes. There's a document in there where I've added a few notes here and there. And I've tried to break them down based on where you add them in your StreamYard dashboard. Everything is literally under brands, but then does it go under video clips? Does it go under, backgrounds, for example, et cetera? Remember, backgrounds are these things behind you. So they go behind your video feed. Then, if you're going to add like an overlay is going to go over top of everything.
Right.
So it's like a sandwich, basically. Background, video, overlay.
So here's a question for Christian and Leticia. Do you guys have a folder for your own show?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I was going to ask you. Once you start doing this more often, my friend, you should build a folder on your desktop, and it has everything to do with your show, the overlays the Christian is giving you, the gifts, all that stuff. Just build your own little file. So when you need something, it's quick, easy. Because here's the beauty about StreamYard, and this is the one thing I love. I think I did it with you, Leticia. Leticia was talking about something, and then as she's talking, I snuck away and Googled it, found the picture, edit the picture, as we're live and then brought it up on screen.
Oh yes, that was on your show.
Right? That's the great thing about StreamYard. As you're live, you can make things and do stuff and bring it in. It's not like some other platforms where because it wasn't there before, you can't upload it.
Right,
you can do it on the fly. So if you have a file with all your GIFs, all your stuff, you can bring it in as you're doing it live. So it's a great thing. One other guest was talking about his son. So I just Facebook, grabbed a picture of his son, and then I brought it on screen. I'm like, you mean this little guy right here? And he paused for a second. He's like,
how did you do that?
And I'm like, the beauty of StreamYard, as you're streaming, you can bring things in. So
right.
And
if cool, Christian. This is a cool folder.
Yeah. See, I just
great folder.
I just clicked on that too.
Yes.
And like I said, I'm recommending you bookmark it because my plan is to, be able to try to roll out some additional things to add to this. So not just like, okay, here's the stuff. Like, so if you're like, hey, you know what, you'd like a tool to be able to do this, for example, like the on-screen tool that we bring on, let us know and we can try to add these so that you can easily bring them into your dashboard. There may be something we're not remembering, for example, or you may have a better idea for something. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Oh, there it is. Hat. It's called what? Hat?
Yeah, it's a hat.
Hat overlay. There it is. It's right there. So
there you go.
There you go. Yeah. Christian's giving you the tools, guys. Click on it right now.
The nuggets.
It's right there.
So, Peo, I hope we've given you some really good suggestions.
So much.
I like the fact that you're taking notes. I actually want to get to the point, Leticia, when we do these. We always want to encourage people to bring a notepad or open up a document so you can take notes.
This is the whole page from today.
You're live streaming while you're watching, so that you're able to then take some things away. Because again, you don't have to implement everything. It's like, what's one nugget of information that you learned? And speaking of that, like, is there something like, I'd like to hear from everyone who's watching right now. Is there like, what was the best takeaway from this week's show?
Right. That'd be
you've
amazing.
like learned? Let us know in the comments on that. Peo. So like back to your stream. I love what you're doing there. I encourage you to keep doing more partnerships, trying to have more people on. I think that's a great idea. Charles, Charles had some great lighting suggestions. Leticia made some great like logo suggestions for you.
Right.
Again, if you're like not, for example, if you're not a designer, contract somebody out to do the work.
That's right.
That's the other thing. If you're not good at it, we're gonna rack our brains doing a task that takes forever.
That's right.
So,
and for you, Peo, and I know Christian, you do this for your other show that you do on Thursdays. Is if you're going to do the show, let's say you upload an episode or you streamed it, go on Twitter and the team that you're representing, tag them. Say, hey, I just did an amazing show and this is what we talked about, and tag the team because they do see that and they will retweet it. So that's another way, like I talk about your Power 100, to get more connections through. It's almost like they're bringing you traffic. So every time you upload a video, go on Twitter and tag the team, the official team page.
Yeah. Thank you. I never would have thought to do that.
Yeah, they do check those, especially if it's football season. Most times they do retweet your posts. Yeah.
By the way, I also want to have one recommendation for you, Peo. So I just dropped a link to a tutorial that we've done on animated GIFs. I would, because you're talking about football and you're doing some really fun things on screen, check that out. And the reason I say that is because you can do animated GIFs where it's you coming up on screen
yes,
this, for example, or somebody doing this, for example. You could do something like that during your show.
That would be great.
Here's the other thing too with me. I see that Christian has countdowns in here as well. So I made my own countdown. So what I did is I would take one of these countdowns. He's got different countdowns. And in a video editor, I added to the countdown.
Yes.
So Christian already made the countdown for you. Just add your own style to it. So for example, there's 60 seconds, 5 seconds, the different ones here. I would take one of these, go to a video editor, and then have a football going across. So every countdown, the countdown, and just have a football throwing a football across the screen as it's counting down. So there's a lot of things you can do. Like for me, I wasn't listening to you guys. I'm in the folder. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I'm in there too, and even looking to maybe
I didn't hear
sponsorships.
one word you guys said. I'm in the folder. Okay.
Yeah, even looking into sponsorships too, I think would be a great idea for your channel.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know how to do that, but I'll figure
Like,
it out.
what's your favorite beer? What's your favorite drink? What's your favorite sneaker line? You know, like, and email them and say, hey, I do this show every week, and I would love to have you guys like feature you guys' logo as a sponsor. And sometimes they give you free products.
And sorry to go with Leticia's saying, this is one thing that kills me with everybody. They think, oh, I don't have 1,000 subscribers. You don't need 1,000 subscribers. Do you have a local bar that you go watch football at?
I do. Yes.
Go to the local bar and say, hey, dude, I have a channel. I get an average of 200 to 300 people.
Right.
Would you want to be my sponsor for the show? I talk about the show, and then I can say, hey, don't forget to watch the show live. Go to my friend's bar at blah, 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 blah. Wings are on sale Sunday. Get 10 wings and a beer for blah, 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 blah.
Happy hour from 7 to 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They love the local bars will be like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
And when you come in, they're like, damn, you know, free drinks all night.
Exactly. And don't forget, when you go to the bar now, what are you going to wear?
Your logo with
your
thickening.
With your logo on it. So you walk in, they put the connections together.
Period.
I'm the guy at the bar. We do a show. Here's my sponsor. That's the host. It's a win-win, my friend.
Yes. They ain't even going to remember your name. They're just going to be
Do you have any suggestions about like how to get merch and stuff? Like, I know there's a lot of things.
I think we all do.
Oh my God.
Listen, just hit me up on the stream. Give me a DM. You know, put your comments within. You can hit me up, and I'm doing the same thing because see, right now, every show I do.
Yep, he has a T-shirt on. Yep,
my T-shirts on, CMJ Entertainment logos, my hats, my intros. Here's a funny thing too. Commercials. I put my own commercials in StreamYard.
That's right.
Yeah. You know what I mean? That's what it's there for. Brand yourself. So I have commercials that I put in my own show. That's so yeah, I can get you merch and hats and show you how to do it and just simple stuff to get started.
I'll definitely do that. Thank you all for your
family. It's great.
Yeah. And I just want to add two other quick tips for you, Peo. So like one thing I would say is I like your little character that you have of yourself. That would actually look really good on a hat. So like if you put like that on a hat and that becomes something that's like your outfit. Like every time you go on your live
visor, I wear visors.
Yeah. So that becomes something you put on, for example, like that people start to recognize like that logo, for example. And then the other thing also I would say, and I don't know exactly on this, but I wouldn't be surprised if like, why don't you reach out to the Rams? Like, why don't you reach out to them and say, hey, you have like, you can reach out to your local community, but what if you reach out to the Rams and ask them if they have a program for fans? Because they very well may.
They might.
Where they send you a package of stuff, for example, there could be, you know, who knows what they give you. If they give you anything, who knows?
Yeah.
It is. And number one thing, you don't know until you
ask.
There
Closed
you go.
mouth don't get fed. Amen.
Hey, listen, I love your team. I'm a big fan. I do a podcast show about you guys. I talk to you guys all the time. I'm redoing my set. I would love if I can get some merch from you guys. And you might be sized a knock on your door and there's a box full of stuff.
Okay.
They give it away at this point. Yeah.
And I do want to bring up one quick question, by the way, from Marina. And this is a very good question. And this also relates to you, Peo. So like, doesn't Facebook charge when we start having sponsors in your streams? So Charles, I'm going to turn this over to you. What do you think? How should somebody handle this?
Well, it depends on how they're sponsoring your stream.
Okay? Right.
So if they're sponsoring your stream through an ad or they're sponsoring your stream through a voice ad. So if it's a commercial, it's different than a voice ad.
Right.
Again, you have to go to which media you're sponsoring through and see what you can do. So it doesn't have to be a commercial as in a video commercial. It could be a voice read. So, all right, coming up next, we have Christian, and today's guest is brought to you by blah, 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 blah. On Thursdays, they have blah, 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 blah. And Thursdays, don't forget to go to them and blah, 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 blah. That's a voice read.
Yes.
There's no video. There's no content. It's an actually voice read ad. So there's different ways of getting a sponsor to read the ad.
Yes, I
Right.
sponsor my own stuff. Like on my show, I say, "Hey, this show is sponsored by," and I say the name of my program. So
Right.
it's like you could get very creative with it. But I see what you're also saying, Charles.
Yeah. So just find out what show it is, and then don't forget, even a pop up, like just a pop up flyer, is not a commercial itself. It's got your logo with you on it, talking about the thing, talking about the brand. That's different because it has to do with your own content.
Mhm.
So there's always ways of marketing, and there's always ways of branding. So
Right.
it's not so much. I know what she's talking about, like a video that goes across.
Right.
You have to do that, but there's other ways around it to do it. Even a voiceover too.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You can have the owner of the bar do a voiceover for you.
Right.
And before the show starts, the voiceover goes, "Hey, this is Mike from so and so bar, and we sponsor blah 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 blah. And we'd love to have it. And if you come to the our bar on Sundays and mention that you saw us on this, the first drink is blah 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 blah."
Yes. Yes.
So that's a voiceover recording from the sponsor himself on your live show.
Yes.
So there's different ways of doing sponsorships. And here, if you want to make it even easier, the t-shirt you're wearing with your head on it, if he's sponsoring your show, get his logo right here.
Yeah.
So there's your face with the football,
and
then you got his logo of the bar right across.
Right. Right.
Easy brand. Today's show is brought to you by, right? There you go.
And again, and
ways around it.
One last point I just want to make on this is just, again, it's like we said earlier, if you're doing a live stream versus a pre-recorded video, same thing here. If you got people sponsoring your streams, it's about transparency.
Yep.
So, making sure that you're telling people if this is a pre-recorded versus a pre-recorded live versus a real live, let them know ahead of time. There's no need to not tell them that. For example, if you've got sponsors for your streams, the platforms want to know because technically you're supposed to be, disclosing that to people. So, there is a box in the studio that will say, is this a sponsored stream?
Right.
So
there you go. That's what I was just about to ask you, Christian. If I'm not mistaken, in YouTube, when you go to the back, when you upload your show, it asks you directly, is this a sponsored stream, correct?
Right.
Yeah. So then you just say yes or no. You just click it. Right. So you look at all the top sponsors. They'll get things that are sent to them, and they'll say today's show is brought to you by so and so and so. Right.
Awesome. Okay. So any other questions, Pedro?
No, you guys have been amazing. I have a lot to organize, so thank you so much for this. I appreciate your wisdom and your hard work, and bless you in your content creation.
Anytime. Thank you very much. This has been awesome having you on. So thank you very much for joining us.
Peace out, everyone.
Good luck with the stream. Bye. That was really cool.
I can't wait to watch his show.
Yes, me too. I'm getting excited.
So I'm gonna bring his stream up real quick. It's payer time. Do us a favor, haven't checked that out. If you're a football fan, you like the Rams, for example, go subscribe to it.
I'm actually doing that right now. Hold on. EA.
Okay, so it is giveaway time, actually.
Giveaway time, guys.
So let me see if I can bring this
Christian's
up. By the way,
giving away his bobblehead. It's like
actually, so I'm not doing that. By the way, just a heads up, everyone. We're going to be giving away. What are we giving away today, Leticia?
Here's the thing:
a coffee mug.
If he gave it away, I would take.
I
put it right there. See,
yeah.
I would put it right there in my studio.
Yes. I
That's
put right above my stove, so I'm cooking. I'm like, Christian, talking to him and stuff.
So today we're going to give away a StreamYard mug.
Yes.
That's exciting as the bobblehead. Sorry, guys. We're giving away the StreamYard mug. To enter, all you have to do is do hashtag love StreamYard in the comments. And then just a couple of quick notes, by the way, if you've not subscribed to the StreamYard YouTube channel, and we want to make sure you don't miss these episodes, do us a favor. I'm going to put the link here in the comments. So here's our YouTube channel here. If you've not checked that out, subscribe to that. And then there's also the StreamYard giveaway tool that we use. So if you are a StreamYard user, you don't have to be on a paid plan, for example, for this. You can access the giveaway tool here. Very simple. And then what that looks like is it's going to look like this. So this is the great thing, by the way, about this is like I don't have to be like, well, hey Charles, can you pull the winner for the giveaway?
Well, it was doing that
The
originally.
giveaway winner. So
I did the old we had a bucket on live TV with all the names.
Oh my gosh. I know that was hard. What's this asking?
okay, so we've got some entries here. Quite a number of people actually. So all you gotta do is put in hashtag of StreamYard. You only have to put it in once. It will show up. So that's all you have to do. And then we're just gonna go draw our winner. So
excited.
Leticia, let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, we're ready. Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna pick a winner, and basically you're gonna have a chance to win a StreamYard mug.
I hope it's me.
Come on now.
Let's go. Winner, chicken dinner.
Come on now.
Oh!
So Marina, congratulations.
Yes.
Do us a favor, email marketing@streamyard.com and just say giveaway winner on live stream reviews. And just send me your address and we'll get you the StreamYard mug shipped out. This is where I would put that confetti, for example.
There you go. I was
just
about to mention that.
Yeah, I was waiting for that, Christian.
So, but as you can see, we kind of time things. So there is confetti sort of built into the StreamYard giveaway tool. There's, and then we played our own animated GIF. But congratulations, Marina, on winning this week's giveaway on live stream reviews. Awesome. Okay, so this has been a lot of fun. Charles, go ahead, Charles. What did you say?
No, I just want a question for both of you guys. I think Lucy, you're using the Restream platform.
Not anymore.
No, I mean to restream the
multi-streaming. Yeah.
This one.
She's multi-streaming. Yeah.
Yeah, for this.
Yes.
For this. Okay. So
I was just talking about something else. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm using the pre-recorded.
Yeah. When you do it for this, what title do you guys put in? Like how do you put the title in? Because there's an option to re-put a new title in. So what are you putting in your titles? It could be for you, Christian, too, as well.
Which title?
Whatever the video is about.
So you don't put in the title that it's a rebroadcast?
Yes, I put this has been pre-recorded. Pre-recorded. Yeah, previously recorded.
I'm going to be starting using it on Monday, but I want to know in the title you put the same title, but above do you say this episode was pre-recorded?
I put that after the title, so I put the title in, and then I put pre-recorded.
Or you could put it at the beginning, you put it at the end.
And it's just in there.
Put it as the first line in your description, just something. But you also could, as you're recording it, when you first, for example, come on screen, hey guys, this is Charles Matthews, and just say something like, hey, this is a pre-recorded stream. I'm currently attending blah blah. I'm currently attending a conference, for example.
But what if you want to use one that you've done already to show again?
I will
put in the beginning of the title then.
Okay.
Like you could put the banner, for example, like if you're going to do that, I'd either have a slide that would say this is a pre-recorded episode.
Right.
So yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm just testing right now. That's the thing, guys. I'm testing this out. And that's what I think that's a great way to get started, guys. It's just testing it out and, seeing how it works. Yeah. Yeah.
Because the thing about it, what I love so much about this, I do my shows every morning at 11 o'clock because that's best for me. And remember, Christian and we always tell you guys, get a time slot is best for you
that you can stay consistent with. Yeah,
exactly. But I know most of my viewers come on at home at 6 o'clock and they relax and they watch. So I'd love to replay my show.
Yeah,
at the 6 o'clock mark. That way I'm getting my both people that my viewers, they're both being happy.
Well, so maybe in the title, like somewhere after the title, at the official title, put, previously recorded at such and such time. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So people know when you regularly show up live.
Yeah. Okay, that's the part I was trying to think. How do I make it look authentic and make it look real that they can put it in there as well?
Right.
That's a great idea.
Fantastic. Charles, this has been a lot of fun. I want to thank you for joining us.
So
Do what?
I'm reading.
The vlog says something.
Yeah, I was reading
his comment. Yeah,
I'm trying to read his comment to understand what he doesn't get.
Oh, the character count. Okay, yes. So what he's actually saying is, by the way, if you are doing pre-records in live streams, your YouTube title length if, for example, if, like there is a certain length of the title that they allow, and so it will cut it off at that certain point. So, you know, you don't want to be very, wordy with like pre-record, for example.
I was saying put it in the details, not like in the actual. I get what you're saying, Christian. Like somewhere in the details, like at the bottom, put that there. Yeah.
Okay. I get what he's saying. Thanks so much, buddy. See, that's what I love about the community. Everybody helps each other out how to make it better. So thank you so much, buddy. I do like that idea.
So awesome.
So
with that, I want to let's see, Leticia. I think the next show is when next. Let's see, we're back in 3 weeks.
Yeah,
3 weeks, right?
No, 2 weeks. Yeah,
21st. All right, the 21st and the 3rd Saturdays every month. The 21st, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be back for live stream reviews. So we hope you all will take the time to join us again. In the meantime, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you don't miss any of the new videos, any new live streams we're doing. But again, this is live stream reviews by Streamyard, and just want to thank you all for spending a little bit of time
with us. And we want to see y'all on panel the next time. So take one action step away from this stream, and then come with us for the next show on the 21st, and let us know how it went.
Okay, everyone, have a great weekend. Bye.